Ladies and gentlemen, down on the field, here come the Rams! The New Canaan Athletic Foundation is proud to announce the kickoff of its third major capital campaign, a public-private collaboration between the New Canaan Athletic Foundation and the town of New Canaan. The campaign will raise $5 million focused on renovation of Dunning Stadium, led by an upgrade to state-of-the-art game quality with halftime production lighting and a new high-tech press box. New Canaan has a rich history of private financial support for its athletic facilities, most notably represented by the Dunning and Hawes families. Now is the time to ensure that our athletic facilities infrastructure is competitive with neighboring communities while meeting the expanding needs of our community and its excelling youth. Over 3,000 students from 1,500 families participate in youth sports, with 70% of New Canaan High School students participating in athletics. Year over year, our impressive list of student-athlete college commitments illustrates the vital relationship between academics and sports in New Canaan. Additionally, several of our alumni play in the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, the PLL, and the WPLL. Please contribute to this important campaign by following the link with the QR code. For more information, visit our website and follow us on social media. Now is the time to join the generous donors who have invested in our town and given meaning to NC Pride.
They are separated by less than 6 miles. Two schools with storied football programs steeped in tradition. Two schools whose rivalry goes back generations. In the history of Connecticut high school football, there's no rivalry quite like this one. And for the first time in 2 years, the rivalry plays out once again on Thanksgiving Day. It's Darien versus New Canaan. The Rams come into this home game with just one loss, playoff implications on the line. Darien, meanwhile, is riding a wave, undefeated, unblemished, the #1 ranked team in the state. New Canaan looks to change that. It's the most anticipated game on the calendar, bragging rights for a year. It's New Canaan versus Darien. It's the Turkey Bowl.
It's Thanksgiving Day in southwestern Connecticut, and we're live from the historic Dunning Field on the campus of New Canaan High School for the 27th edition of the Turkey Bowl between the 9-0 Darien Blue Wave and the 8-1 New Canaan Rams. Hi everyone, I'm Peter McLean. Alongside me today is Braden Shank and Brendan Testoria. Brendan, Braden, great to be in the booth with you today.
Yeah, Peter, we should have a really good match on hand. It's the 27th edition of the Turkey Bowl, as you mentioned. This is a rivalry that has dated back since the 1920s, so a lot of history and tradition here, and we should have another good edition on hand today.
Braden, to keep going with you, what are some keys to the game, you think, for the Darien Blue Wave here?
Yeah, Darien, they're having an impressive year at 9-0. You look back at the 2019 Turkey Bowl, they lost 20-0 in a game that they had 400 offensive yards. What killed them, though, was the turnovers, so they need to limit them. They made 4 turnovers in that 2019 match, so if they can limit them, they're looking good. They also have to make the big plays. They have Matthew Minikis and Jake Wilson, big targets for Miles Drake. If they can make the big plays, they're looking good. And the final thing is they got to take advantage of the New Canaan offense, an offense that's a little inexperienced when you compare it to Drew Pine, current Notre Dame quarterback in the 2019 New Canaan Rams, so they got to take advantage with their seniority on the New Canaan offense.
Brendan, on the other side of the ball, some keys for New Canaan, you think?
Well, New Canaan, for the entire year so far, their MO has been defense, defense, defense. They're only allowing 8.8 points per game, and if they want to, and this Darien offense is pretty easily the best offense in the state, so if New Canaan wants to stay close in this game, they got to keep Darien under 30.
Now for the quarterbacks, Braden. Miles Drake for Darien, just such an elite quarterback. We'll hear the sound bites from him from earlier in this week. Braden, Miles Drake has had such a good season this year. Go over some of his stats for us.
Yeah, Miles Drake, he's having a great season. You have 23 passing touchdowns that he has, and you take a look at the comparison, only 4 interceptions and a little over 1,000 yards, so he is a very talented quarterback. Kind of got, he missed that last year. due to the COVID season, but he's been having a really good year for the Blue Wave this year.
On the other side, Henry Cunny for New Canaan.
This is the first season since 2015 that New Canaan's been without Drew Pine, Notre Dame player right now. And Henry Cunny has brought some of his own talent to the table. He's certainly brings more in terms of the run game, and he's very secure with the football and a capable leader for this offense.
And a quarterback is only so much. They need receivers. Let's go over some of the great receivers for Darien. Matthew Minikis, Brady.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. You need two players for the duo, and Miles Drake, he likes that target with his senior teammate Matthew Minikis. They just have completed so many touchdowns this season. You look back even at the Fairfield Ludlow game they played a couple weeks ago where they connected for 5 touchdowns, and Matthew Minikis, a long line of Minikis brothers, the final one, and he's had just a great year with a lot of great stats to his name.
On the other side, you can't talk about the New Canaan offense without mentioning Max Salert.
Max Salert has had a great season so far. He played as a freshman on this team, and he seems to be the leader of this wide receiver room. Even though he's only a junior, he has 6 touchdowns on the year. He had 2 against Wilton in their only loss of the year. But if New Canaan wants to get things done through the air, he's their guy.
Yeah, in this game, huge rivalry, a lot on the line. But outside of that, this game has some major playoff implications. Braden, what's going on in the FCAC with this one today?
Yeah, it's got a ton of implications. You know, first in the FCAC standings, Darien currently sits alone in the FCAC standings at 9-0. So a win today would give them an FCAC Champions Trophy by the record. But if New Canaan wins, it gets dicey because Darien, New Canaan, and St. Joe's would all be tied at 9-1. They would go to some tiebreakers. Remember, Darien beat St. Joe's in the regular season. We're not sure on the tiebreakers, but there would force a 3-way tie atop the FCAC standings.
And of course, there's more than just the FCAC, Braden. What's going on in the state, on the state level?
Well, Darien currently sits as the #1 seed and the only undefeated team in Class LL. And obviously with the win, they would stay in that #1 spot. With Fairfield Prep's win last night, they're secured. They're going to stay ahead of New Canaan no matter what. So even if New Canaan wins, they can only go up to #2. Now, if New Canaan wins, it'll be #2 New Canaan and #3 Darien, setting up for a semifinal matchup if both teams can get their business done. And New Canaan, if they lose this game, they can only fall as low as #5, and most likely they would play Shelton in that matchup.
And now, right before we get ready for this one, we're going to go down to the field with Harvey, who has the weather report. Thanks for that, Harvey. The teams are just about ready for the coin toss. We'll have the coin toss, then the anthem, and then we'll be back with opening kickoff of the 27th edition of the Turkey Bowl.
Darien has won the coin toss and elected to defer. Give thanks for all the men and women of our armed forces who risk their life every day in defense of our country. At the conclusion of today's game, a most valuable player will be chosen from each team and presented with the Jack Dempsey Memorial MVP Award. Please stand and join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Please remain standing as New Canaan High School choir students Clara Bloom, Nicole Talamo, Amanda Robertson, Peyton Zaletsky, Alex Chu, and Henry Tate sing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Welcome back here. This is a joint production between the DAF Media Network and NCTV. Darien won the coin toss and deferred, so they'll receive, or New Canaan will receive, the opening kick. Excuse me, we just heard the national anthem. Both student sections are ready, the players are ready, and we're ready to get underway here from Dunning Field.
Peter, this is exactly what high school football is all about. Lou Marinelli said it. It's two rival towns, two communities that come together. You have both teams, cheerleaders, fan bases, student sections. I mean, it's Thanksgiving morning, but this is truly a pinnacle of high school football games, really just anywhere.
Yeah, we heard it from pretty much every player we talked to leading up to this week that it was just a dream come true to play in this game, that they had watched these games growing up year after year, and finally it's their turn. Regardless of the result, of course, both teams want to win, but regardless of the result, these are memories that will last a lifetime for everyone on the field today. As you see the New Canaan huddle there, it's emotions are running high here as we're ready to get going here.
And what stood out to me is that Darien elected to defer, which if you win the toss and you score on your first drive, that's an opportunity to put your opponent away. That leads me to believe that they know that they're in for a dogfight. These two teams always get into it year after year. Last year was the first year we went without the two teams meeting for the first time, not only in my lifetime, but my parents' lifetime. They hadn't missed a game since 1966.
Yeah, both teams have taken the field. Tyler Herget will be doing the kicking for the Blue Wave here.
I don't want to correct you here, but it's Trevor Herget.
My bad. Trevor Herget will be doing the kickoff.
Tyler Herget, great Blue Wave player a couple of years ago.
back deep for the Rams.
As there's Herget's kick, a low kick that will run out of the back of the end zone. That'll be a touchback for our opening kickoff here. The new Canaan offense ready to get going. Brendan, what do you think they need to do on this first drive?
Well, I think that they're going to look to keep the ball on the ground and really control the time of possession in this game. You really want to keep that Darien high-powered offense off the field for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah, Braden, on the other side, the Darien defense, what do they need to do to get off to a fast start here?
It's the same thing we said in the open. They got to break that O-line quickly. You got Ivanchik, Cole Murphy, Jack Barber. They're big three. If they can break the O-line and get to Cunny and potentially sack them, they're looking good.
Cunny in the shotgun, takes the snap, handoff right away. This is Cognetta, able to pick up a gain of 8 or 9. Solid opening play for the Rams, and that'll set up second and short.
That's going to be something the Rams are going to go to all day today, is that handoff to Vin Cognetta. They did it a couple weeks ago in the Fairfield Ward game. He actually brought it in for a touchdown, but they're going to go to him pretty much on a good amount of plays today.
We have 2nd and 2 here for the Rams.
And in order for this offense to work for New Canaan, they really need to get the run game going to open up the pass game and the play action.
Cunny takes it himself, breaking free into the secondary, but dragged down by number 22, Christian Allegro. And a late flag thrown. We'll see who this is on.
Run on the play from number 6.
We have a face mask on the blue wave. Cunny was able to get it to the 40, but this ball is going to move up into Darien territory here. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and New Canaan will move up to the Darien 45-yard line here. So we talked about in the open New Canaan having to avoid the penalties. It's Darien that takes the first flag here.
Yeah, that's a good touch there. A little role reversal. Canaan 60 penalty yards against Fairfield Ward, and Darien picking up the first penalty in this one.
As Cognetta takes it and runs it up the gut.
That's a big play there for New Canaan. They really have to stay on schedule, and forcing New Canaan to a very minimal gain on first down really sets them behind.
That was Ty Groff. That was Ty Groff in the shotgun for the Rams there. So a little early quarterback change.
Ty Groff is the backup quarterback for the Rams, but his primary duty is as the kicker for the Rams. Most field goals in the state of Connecticut. And you're right, that was an interesting call, putting him in the shotgun.
I think Cunny might have been knocked up a little bit after the face mask.
So Groff will stay in the game. Cognetta next to him. Another handoff to Cognetta. He bounces out to the far side, but is dragged down by Allegro once again. And it will be 3rd down for the Rams.
And Henry Cunny will be back into the game after a short break there.
You mentioned it, Cunny trotting back on now. 3rd and 7 for the Rams. Darien looking to get the stop. New Canaan, of course, looking to move the chains.
It's a big 3rd down. These early 3rd downs really set the tone of the game early.
Yeah, Cunny and Cognetta in the backfield. This one's going to, Cunny is going to take it, excuse me. These C names are tripping me up. But Darien's going to get the stop and force 4th down. It's going to be about 4th and 5 for the Rams here.
4th and 5 in enemy territory. I would not be surprised if they go for it here.
And it looks like they're bringing Ty Groff on, so they're going to be using the special teams in some capacity. Groff, the punter, and the kicker. So we don't know which one he will set up as, but
looks like the Rams are going to elect to punt it away. Ty Groff standing just past the 50-yard line to get ready to boot this one back. As it's a fake punt, it's pulled by New Canaan, and he's going to pick up the first down. Awaiting a spot, it looked like Forward Progress was giving it to him. That was Alex Benevito carrying it for the Rams there. Still waiting for a spot.
Defense for New Canaan is getting out onto the field, and it looks like Darien will gain possession.
It looks like Benevento was not able to get to the marker, and Darien will take over. Brendan, gutsy call by Lou Marinelli here.
Very gutsy call, but I don't blame him at all. This is a big-time game. You want to set the you want to send a message early on. I obviously in hindsight is 2020. It didn't work out, but
Drake.
I do like the call at the time.
Drake in the shotgun. He hands this run off right away. Kaminsky not able to get anything, driven back.
And Comiskey's so great breaking tacklers one-on-one, but New Canaan does a tremendous job of swarming the ball.
You can clearly tell on that tackle, New Canaan did their homework, and they realized that Comiskey will pretty much beat them on the one-on-one, so they needed 4 or 5 guys to take him down, and loses yards is Comiskey on the play.
Drake and Kaminsky once again in the shotgun. Drake takes the snap, dropping back, looking to throw. Pass is thrown deep. The target was Jake Wilson for the Blue Wave.
He's gone to Wilson 19 times this year, and he was trying to do it again. That one was just overshot a little far. And now Darien in some early trouble, 3rd and 11.
Tough start for the Blue Wave offense. You got to think a big one, big 3rd down for them to get here, Brady.
New Canaan sent 5 men in a blitz on both 1st and 2nd down. You have to think that they'll only send 4 here, but it looks like they're sending 6.
Got Drake and Kaminsky in the backfield once again. Twins receivers on both sides. Drake dropping back, looking to throw. He's going to try to run with it, and is going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. That's number 2, Barrett Schmitz, bringing Drake down, and that will force the Blue Wave into 4th and long.
Barrett Schmitz missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury. He's making his presence known early on here.
You have another look at it there. Drake trying to get out of the pocket. An elusive quarterback, but wasn't able to get it that time.
Yeah, this Darien O-line has done a great job of buying Miles Drake time to find that perfect pass, and that time there he waited a little too long and couldn't find the pass, and Schmitz picked up on it and took him down.
Trevor Herget ready to do the punting duties for the Blue Wave here. And this snap is going to go over Herget's head. He's going to field this at about the 2 and try to make something out of it, running on the far side. And he'll be dragged down. Herget able to break the play a little and limit the damage for the Blue Wave. But either way, that's a huge play early. Snap over Herget's head.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play you have to look out for. That's an error that Darien can't be making at this point in the season. You can't have a bad snap. And luckily, Herget using his speed to his advantage, going to that far side and gaining a couple yards. But it's never good to be doing that, especially in these big games.
Yeah, he did make a terrible situation just a little bit better. You can't let New Canaan come into possession at your own 4-yard line.
So there were flags on the play. Those penalties are going to offset, is what the initial signaling from the field is.
So that means they will have to redo the play if they are offsetting.
Referees still huddling, trying to make sure they get this one right. Big call here early.
It is interesting. The Darien defense is all out on the field. And they're coming over to Marinelli now for the, I think they're going to call it helmet to helmet. I'm going to assume on New Canaan. Things just got very interesting on this play.
Yeah, big rivalry like this, there will be some hot blood between the 2 teams.
So we have offsetting penalties, I believe. So, or
Cunny is trotting back on the field, so I think the punt is going to stand, but it's just a matter of the distance or the yard placement on the penalties, and the helmet-to-helmet will move it back about 10 yards.
Yeah, so looking like the helmet-to-helmet happened after. So New Canaan will take over the ball. They'll be moved back a bit, so they'll go back to about the 43-yard line of the Blue Wave for 1st and 10 here.
New Canaan yet to go to the air here.
So we have a little jet sweep action coming to the near side. And that may be back to the original line of scrimmage. Not a whole lot doing there for the Rams.
Hunter Telesco on the carry. He also missed 2 games. New Canaan, very glad to have him back. His speed is game-changing on the edge.
Just watch on this play. They brought Connor Bailey now onto the field, going to be in the backfield in the place of Cognetta. So they might be handing it off to their third of the trio of running backs for New Canaan, of Bailey, Cognetta, and Telesco.
Cunny trots in with the play here. Coming up on about the halfway point of this first quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Rams, still locked in a scoreless ball game. Cunny in the shotgun. Bailey motions out, and we're going to have a delay of game. The Rams weren't able to get the snap off in time.
They're protesting the call, but to little avail.
So the Rams are going to get backed up to the 48. It's going to be 2nd and 15 here. Cunny in the shotgun. Bailey motions out once again.
Still haven't thrown the ball. This does seem like the time and place.
5 wide. Cunny looking to throw. He's going to try to move up in the pocket and drag down.
Steinkraus there doing a great job breaking that line and picking up the tackle. We mentioned in the open they needed to take advantage of that, a weaker offense for the Rams, and Steinkraus, just a junior, doing just that and losing yards for the Rams.
You see, Cunny was trying to make a play under pressure, but Steinkraus said to that and brought him down in the backfield. So it's going to be 3rd and very long, 22. We're doing math here for the Rams. New Canaan breaks the huddle. Cunny with Bailey next to him.
I wouldn't be surprised to just see a draw here, make it easier on your punter.
Cunny dropping back, looking to throw. Ball to the near side is overthrown deep. That was Medwar in coverage. Number 17, Max Salert, was the intended receiver. That will fall incomplete, and it will be 4th and very long for the Rams now.
Medwar doing pretty much that entire thing all season, the tight lockup defense on the pass. We even saw it in that St. Joe's game where he was able to pick one off. He was close there, a little over him, but still great defense from the Darien senior.
Now, so Groff will be back to punt. It's Minikis deep to return for the Blue Wave. As we are yet to see a punt. We've seen 2 attempted punts, but yet to actually see a punt in this game.
Call me crazy, but I don't think they'll fake this one.
As Groff there boots this one away, and it will take a New Canaan hop. Minikis will end up fielding it at about the 10. Minikis reverses to the near side, trying to find some room. Still going, but eventually forced out of bounds around the 20. And the Darien offense will come back out, 1st and 10.
It's also interesting on that New Canaan punt formation, kind of a different look out there. They have the 2 players on both sides. They have a player in the backfield with the punter. I know that's something they've been working on in the practices. So when that trick play came in that first attempt on it, it really kind of made sense there. The different formation caught Darien off guard, and so just keep an eye out for that on the other punts that New Canaan might have this afternoon.
Darien was watching their film too. They tried the same fake punt against Wilton, and it worked, but really did their homework there.
Drake handed that one off to Kaminsky for little game. Braden, in the games we've done this year for the Blue Wave, it seems like Darien spends the first quarter just handing it off to Kaminsky, waiting for someone to stop him, and then they'll start the air attack. You think that'll change now that New Canaan has shown once or twice they can shut down Kaminsky thus far?
Yeah, Darien, same thing in a lot of their games, the slow start, and they'll find that point of acceleration and really take off, and hopefully will be coming later in this game for the Blue Wave, but a slower start for the Wave.
Drake dropping back, looking to throw, under pressure. He'll try to scramble, turning upfield. Drake getting back to maybe the original line of scrimmage. Either way, it's going to be 3rd and 8 or 9 for the Blue Wave here.
Got to give credit to Ryan Warnerberg of New Canaan for pressuring Miles Drake as we take another look at it, really forcing him to that last resort. You can see that blitz from him.
And that's sack number 12 and a half on the year for Chad Russo, who is now only 2 away from the school season record, set by Chris Caratu in the Turkey Bowl 2 years ago in 2019.
So it's 3rd and 10 for the Blue Wave here.
And both these teams have been behind schedule in terms of down and distance. Darien with 3rd and 10 here.
The defense is proving their prowess here early in this one. Here we go. Bo Hancock trotting back on for the Blue Wave. Got Drake and Kaminsky in the backfield. Drake dropping back, looking to throw. He's under pressure right away. He's going to have to bail out. He hucks this one up to Lesperance, who can't bring it in. A good ball by Drake. Lesperance just not able to bring in the diving catch there, and it will be 4th down for the Blue Wave.
Darien was trying that long shot, as they've done so much in the past, and that one, Lesperance put a great effort on, but you see that New Canaan blitz that they've been doing all game so far, and it's been working for them. As Darien, stats show them -8 total offensive yards in this game.
It was Chad Russo in pressure for the Rams. Drake had to bail out to the far side and just huck it up there. Lesperance wasn't able to bring it down, and it will be 4th down, and the Blue Wave will look to punt it away.
And he had his man there, but he just got hit on the throw and came up incomplete.
Herget gets this one off. Solid punt. Landing at the 40 and taking not much of a hop there.
Not a kind roll for the Wave.
It'll be down at the 42, and New Canaan will take over 1st and 10. So we're still waiting for an offense to really do something. Darien took a shot play there. New Canaan tried to get Salert on their 3rd down conversion, but either way, both offenses, not a whole lot doing.
Yeah, Peter, I think a lot of people might have been able to expect this kind of stalemate between both sides. When you have the #1 and the #3 teams in the state, it's going to be a hard-fought game by both teams, and they're evenly matched for each other.
Number 27, Alex Benevento, in a halfback for the Rams.
Cunning and Benevento in the backfield. This one's a handoff to Benevento. He'll be tripped up right at the line, and it looks like no gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Rams.
Benevento, only a sophomore, but he sees action all 3 aspects of the game, as a wide receiver, running back, defensive back, as well as he's the holder for the Rams.
Cunning in at quarterback. 4 wide for the Rams here. Cunning dropping back, coming near side, looking to throw. Ball to the near side is caught by number 17, Max Salert, excuse me, and he's shoved out of bounds. Short of the 1st down, and it will be 3rd and about 3 for the Rams.
And Vin Cognetta's back in the game. He's your short distance guy. He's able to plug one up the middle, get you those 2 yards that you need here, if anyone can. Of course, Darien knows this, and they're stacking the box here.
As someone jumped, Darien's indications pointing at New Canaan surrendering and already heading back. So this is going to be a 3-5 for the Blue Wave and force a much longer 3rd down attempt for the Rams here.
I still think they're going to go to Cognetta. Vin Cognetta, the senior, averaging 7.3 yards per carry. So if he does that here, the numbers are right, he would get a 1st down for New Canaan. So look for that run from Vin Cognetta.
3rd and 7. We got Cunny and Cognetta in the backfield. 4 wide for the Rams. Cunny dropping back, looking to throw. He'll try to push the pocket and run. It's going to be close. He breaks free from Allegro, picks up the 1st down. Allegro ended up dragging him down, but after the chains. So New Canaan picks up the 1st on 3rd and 7.
Coming into the game, Cunny had 69 carries on the season. That's only 2 shy of the team's leader of carries in their running back, Vin Cognetta. So he's shown he likes to rush the ball, and he's done it for 2 big games already tonight.
Cunny was able to find enough green field to pick up the 1st there, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Rams.
And that's what makes Cunny different from a Drew Piner and Mike Collins. He's a much more willing runner than those 2.
So we got a handoff to Cognetta with not a whole lot doing there as the Wave defense able to stop him. And it will be 2nd and 6 or 7, it looks like, for the Rams.
Darien, that tackle picked up by Sean Quick, a beast on the defense, if you will. Team's leader with 65 tackles on the season.
2nd and 7. Cunny and Bailey now in the backfield for the Rams. 4 wide once again. Cunny drops back, looking to throw. Pass to the near side is falling incomplete. The intended target was Andrew Rechterman, who had a lot of space to work, but Cunny just not able to put the ball where it needed to be there.
He kind of got drilled by David Ivanchik coming off the edge there. Not able to get his whole arm into that throw.
See, Joe Caesar was in under coverage there, just not able to find the open man. So it will be 3rd and 8 for the Rams here from about the 44-yard line of the Blue Wave. Bailey motions out to the near side. Cunny alone in the backfield. He takes the snap, dropping back, looking to throw. Trying to make something happen, dancing around. Pass to the near side is sailing high and incomplete. So it will be 4th down for the Rams.
One thing that stood out to me so far in this one is that out on the edge, wide receiver, defensive back, Darien does seem to have a significant size advantage. Cunny throws the jump ball there for Connor Bailey, but he just didn't have the height advantage there.
Yeah, you also got to look at it on that play. Darien Ivanchik once again on the sideline trying to rush and tackle the quarterback, but then San Severino doing a good job pushing him off and not letting him get to the quarterback.
Jack Barber was also did a good job of getting in there for the Wave.
Groff gets a high punt away. Les Brants will have to take a fair catch at the 6 or 7 yard line, it appears like. So Darien offense will trot on the field, backs against the wall, 1st and 10.
Darien yet to gain a 1st down so far, but that long throw to Les Brants is somewhat indicative to me that they absolutely can get something going with the flick of a switch.
And that is one of the advantage of having a great kicker like New Canaan does in Ty Groff. I know Braden and I are huge fans of the specialists. So it's great to see a wonderful punt there by Groff.
If I correct you again, he's not just a kicker. He's the punter, the backup QB. He really could do it all.
Athlete is the only term to accurately describe Ty Groff. Drake in the shotgun here. Kaminsky next to him, 4 wide.
He's got 6 seconds. He's got to go here.
Drake trying to get someone to jump, maybe, and we have a whistle blown dead before the snap.
Likely.
I'm assuming it's going to be a timeout. It will, in fact, be. Darien pulled a timeout, their first of the first half. 1:37 left here in the first quarter. Still a scoreless ball game.
That was kind of a weird play right there because Darien, I don't think that they knew it was a timeout, so Miles started to run the route. And then Darien did get the timeout off, and just a very, disorganized Darien team there on that play.
It looked like Drake was trying to audible, maybe get someone to jump at the line of scrimmage to give Darien a little more breathing room, but nothing doing.
I think people just didn't know what the play was. I'm sure it's loud over there in the shadow of your own end zone, right by the New Canaan student section.
Yeah, the New Canaan student section in all black, right behind Miles Drake and the Darien offense, as it's Drake and Kaminsky in the shotgun. Play action to Kaminsky. Drake will pull it and run, and he's tripped up on the far side, and it will only be a gain of 1 or 2, maybe 3, and it will be 2nd down for the Blue Wave, as we'll have another look here.
Warnerberg doing a nice job of just touching Miles Drake and forcing the momentum to bring him down. As you can see, kind of going into him, and I guess he didn't even mean to touch him, but he did make contact with Miles and took him down, setting up the 2nd and 5 for the Blue Wave.
Drake in the shotgun. Kaminsky on the near side. Drake dropping back, looking to throw. He's under pressure once again and brought down in the backfield. And it will be 3rd and long for the Wave.
Chad Russo, once again, his 2nd sack of the day.
You see, he's just coming off the blind side of Drake. Drake trying to get out of there, but he's brought down deep in Darien territory. They're back 1 or 2 yard line. 3rd and 15 here for the Blue Wave. Just seconds left here in this first quarter.
Actually, with that sack from Russo, he's now tied for the most sacks in the state.
Drake throws a screen to Minikis that Minikis wasn't able to haul in. It's going to be an incompletion, and 4th down for the Wave.
Yeah, kind of was a little low pass over to Minikis, and he wasn't able to corral it. And now Darien really has their back up against the wall. 4th and 15 on the 3 yard line.
Darien, that threw the screen to try and get out of the shadow of their own end zone. just
Herget is
to
standing
avoid this situation right here.
almost on the end line, but arguably more importantly, just a few yards in front of the New Canaan student section. So he catches the snap and is able to get this one away. A good punt by Herget that is fielded at the 45 and brought back by New Canaan.
Connor Bailey is doing it.
Number 20, Connor Bailey on the return.
Darien, 6-yard line, back on the play by number 77.
And there's 12.7 seconds left in the first quarter, and we have 2 first downs on the game.
Yeah, definitely a defensive battle thus far. Mentioned it, just under 13 seconds left here in this first quarter. So New Canaan gets a play, maybe 2 here in, you got to think, before we'll switch sides.
Incognito in the backfield.
Man in motion, fake jet sweep. Cunny pulls it up the middle, picks up, or gets close to picking up the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. Looks like they're marking him a bit short.
That's going to bring the quarter to an end. And we've really just had a game of field position.
It's been punters flipping the field so far. Neither offense able to do a whole lot. Both teams just kind of trading 4 downs.
Yeah, you know, it's like I said, 2 top teams in the state. They've come in prepared. Neither of them are going to budge in here. So we should have 3 more good quarters of football in our hands.
Both teams have had ample time to prepare for this one, and the defenses are showing it in this defensive battle. What do you think Darien needs to do to maybe adjust headed into the second quarter?
They got to limit those little careless errors they make. That snap that they had on Herget on the punt is something they got to clean up. Also, the short gains they have, they got to start making those bigger plays, making the passes. They've been dropping a ton of passes, and that's really what's going to hurt you in the long run.
On the other side for New Canaan.
Well, New Canaan so far, they've had the upper hand in terms of field position, but that really means nothing. You really got to get a few first downs, and I'd like to see them go to the air a little bit more.
Yeah, New Canaan only not picking up a whole lot of yards in the air. And Darien is getting ready to take, or New Canaan is getting ready to bring the offense back on the field for the start of this second quarter. Scoreless ball game. Neither team able to do a whole lot as we have New Canaan trotting back out onto the field now. We'll get ready for the start of the second.
And we're back in action now. Cunny from the shotgun.
Cunny hands it off. Cognetta pushing forward. Close to the first.
Run on the play from number 4, Vin Cognetta.
Referee signals for a first down.
Pickup of 2.
And the chain gang is moving on the far side. So 1st and 10 for the Rams once again. They're on the 25-yard line. Best scoring opportunity either team has had thus far.
And New Canaan is a team that likes to capitalize on these red zone opportunities. Don't leave much out on the table, so they're going to look to do the same and put the first score up in this one.
Cunny and Cognetta in the backfield once again.
Timeout called by Coach Lou Marinelli.
Timeout called by New Canaan with 11.
Had some confusion, it looked like, so New Canaan will call their first timeout of the first half here, just seconds in to this second quarter here.
And New Canaan, not in the red zone yet, but they've struggled close to the end zone with getting 6 points on the board. They've had to lean on Ty Groff a lot, their kicker, and they really want to make sure that they get 7 on this possession.
Yeah, it's an important possession. You really got to think the way we've seen these defensive play, every score is going to mean a lot in this game. Points might be hard to come by if we see a continuation of the first quarter throughout this one.
Yeah, and to Brendan's point, this is a New Canaan team that, unlike many teams, have a kicker they can rely on. So if they do get into a 4th down situation, they are truly, they put their faith in Ty Groff, and he can put up the big field goal when they need him to.
Till then, Cunning and Cognetta once again in the backfield. 4 wide for the Rams, 3 on the far side. Cunny just takes this one right away, trying to find some room, bouncing to the outside, still swarmed by Darien defenders, and it will be 2nd and about 10, maybe 11 for the Rams.
I thought what Leighton Reeser did really well on that play. As you take another look at it, he kind of stopped himself for a second and really assessed what Cunny was doing here and just went straight down low into him and making sure he really couldn't break any tackles.
Yeah, he did a great job of keeping his contain on that play, not giving Cunny anywhere to go.
So 2nd and 12 is the official spot for the Rams. Cunny dropping back, pitches this one to the near side, cutting up field and brought down. That's number 33, Hunter Telesco, on the carry.
And he's mostly used as a wide receiver, but that's his 2nd carry of the game for the Rams, for New Canaan.
So you have another look here. Cunny just with the pitch right away. Telesco able to pick up 6 on the near side. So 3rd and 6 for the Rams here. We have Cunny Incognito once again in the backfield, 4 wide for the Rams. Man in motion. Cunny gonna pull it and be dragged down. That's number 92, Jet Barber, bringing down Cunny. And to set up 4th and 6 for the Rams.
Barber, another junior on this Blue Wave team, and he's really asserted himself as a dominant force on that Darien D-line. You just look at his stats, you got 34 tackles on the year and 2 sacks for a loss of 22 yards, and once again picking up a big sack on Henry Cunny.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've seen him in the backfield today.
Ty Groff on the field to kick. Ball spotted at the 22, the holders at the 29, plus the 10 for the end zone. This will be 39 for Groff, a 39-yard field goal attempt. Good snap, good hold. Groff, kick is up, and good. Splits the uprights. Good from 39 for our first points of the day, with 9:16 left here in the first half. New Canaan 3, Darien nothing.
We mentioned Ty Groff and just how electric he is. That is his 9th field goal on the season, best for the most in the state. I mean, he's one of the best kickers really around, and like I said, in the state, top kicker right there, Ty Groff.
So that kick there, we're taking another look at it here. He was from 39, and it was good, but you'll see it in a second. That kick is good from a lot more than just 39 for Ty Groff there.
A lot of teams, you get to the 21-yard line, that becomes 4-down territory, but to have a kicker that you can lean on in those situations, that's a big deal for New Canaan.
New Canaan now getting the first points of the game. Of course, you got to think some disappointment there is 1st and 10 from the 25. You would have liked to get 6. Ty Groff back on the field to kick off here.
The Wunderkind.
We got Minikis and Stafford back deep to return for the Blue Wave. Groff gets ready to boot this one away. This one is fielded by Stafford at the 5. They'll bring this out, trying to find some room. Stafford to the far side, beats Groff all the way out to the 45-46, just short of the 50, where he is dragged down. Comes out to a 40-plus yard return for Stafford there.
We saw that in the Wilton game. Jeremiah Stafford, and really just this entire Darien special teams, they do a great job of returning the ball and taking it for a lot of yards, setting up the offense in the great situations. You take another look at it, he really used his size to the advantage and strength to overpower a couple New Canaan defenders and take a couple with him, getting it to the 49-yard line.
You saw Carter Connors, who was holding on to Stafford there for
Pretty
about
good,
5
too.
yards. And Stafford just able to keep chugging along to set up Darien in the best field position of the day for them. So we have Drake in the shotgun, looking to throw. Screen pass to the near side. He finds Stafford. Stafford trying to find some room, breaks a tackle, moving upfield, is shoved out of bounds, gets over the 50, call it the 45, and it will be 2nd and about 5 for the Blue Wave.
That was a deadly stiff arm that he put on Chris Bopp there. And
we have another look here. Just the stiff arm pushing him to the ground. Stafford able to make something. We saw it in warm-ups, Braden. Darien loving their screen passes.
Yeah, both teams love their screen passes, but Darien just has to convert them and make the completions to get them to work.
Drake bails out to the near side. Pass over the middle is caught. That'll be a 1st down, but will be down at the spot. That's Jake Wilson receiving that one. So Darien able to move the chains here. From what we've seen on those 2 plays, completely different Darien offense than what we saw in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, they came into the drive -6 yards on the total offensive yards, and they've picked up a good amount already on this drive, so it's really a change for the Blue Wave.
This is Darien offense we've come to expect. First quarter, we didn't see much, but this is the offense that is averaging 44 points a game.
As we had some movement there, and Darien is going to get backed up 5 yards.
That's Carson Drake, the captain, who moved.
So Darien going to move back, as you saw Drake flinched there on the far side. Of course, Miles and Carson, no relation between the two Drakes. Drake and Kaminsky once again in the shotgun. Drake takes the snap, hands it off to Kaminsky, who's trying to find some room on the far side. He'll get close to the first down marker, where he is shoved out of bounds. Or excuse me, that was the original line of scrimmage marker. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Blue Wave, as Kaminsky was able to pick up 5 there.
That's the big differentiating factor in this game so far, as Darien has not been able to get Ty Kaminsky going. He's only had 2 offensive rushing yards in this game, or at least up to that rush. So the Blue Wave needs to get him going.
Drake looking to throw, gets a block, ball deep, trying to find someone, and it goes through the arms of Matt Minikis in the end zone, and that will fall to the ground incomplete. Minikis in a lot of coverage there, but still almost came down with it.
You see there, you got 4 black shirts surrounding Minikis. They know how deadly he is on the outside. 14 touchdowns so far in the year, averaging 72 yards a game, and I'm sure in many of those, he doesn't play the second half.
Yeah. We've also seen, to go back to your point about Kaminsky, a lot of the Darien offense this year has been handed off to Kaminsky, let him set up Minikis or Wilson over the top. That kind of goes away when you can't get Kaminsky going.
Yeah, you need that first part to get the entire sequence to go. And Darien, they need to kind of work on that as this game progresses.
4 wide for the Wave. Drake hands this off to Kaminsky, who is brought down in the backfield for a loss for the Blue Wave.
Dylan Blair, the senior, got in there first for the Rams. It's going to be 4th and 14.
It's going to be 4th and long for the Blue Wave.
The offense is still out there. Looks like they're going to go for it.
It's Drake and Kaminsky in the backfield still. And it looks like they will indeed keep the offense on the field. So 4 wide for the Blue Wave, 2 on the near side, 2 on the far side.
Bold choice for Coach Mike Forget, but
Drake dropping back under pressure right away, and he's sacked in the backfield down to the 40-yard line on the other side. So New Canaan not only will get the turnover on downs, will take over with great field position.
That's the one thing you can't do on that. If you take a risky play like that on 4th down, you just got to get rid of the ball. You know, at least push him back to 10 yards from where you originally got tackled, but you can't take a sack in that situation.
I agree, Braden. You'd much rather chuck a ball up down the field and get it picked off. It's the same thing as a punt, but to give up 10 yards and lose a football there, that's just devastating.
It was Barrett Schmitz who got in there right away. Of course, Drake was under pressure by a lot more than just that. So New Canaan will take over 1st and 10 from about the 43. It's Cunny and Telesco in the backfield. Cunny dropping back, looking to throw a Vanchek, trying to bring him down, and does. Cunny was able to reach forward to get a little back, but either way, it's still going to be a loss of about 8 or 9.
And Vanchek entering play was tied atop the state in sacks, and he picks up one right there. A long line of Vanchek's brother Mark, the 2016 Connecticut Male Player of the Year for high school athletics, and he really, once again, uses his size and strength to beat that O-line and attack the quarterback.
You see Vanchek just flying in off the near side and able to bring Cunny down in the backfield. So 2nd and 18 now for the Rams. Got Cunny, and I believe that's Bailey. Bailey bouncing out to the near side. Cunny looking to throw under pressure once again. He'll get this one off over the middle. It will bounce off the chest and fall incomplete. The intended receiver was number 9, Andrew Rechterman. Not able to haul that one in, and it will be 3rd and 18 for the Rams.
And that sack by David Vanchek really turned things around for Darien. After the big play from New Canaan, he returned the favor, and now New Canaan's looking at 3rd and a country mile.
Rams coming out trying to get their play. It's 3rd and 18. They're at about the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. We'll see what Lou Marinelli draws up here. 3rd and 18. Cunny and Bailey, we have a flag and another delay of game on the Rams. So this 3rd and 18 becomes a 3rd and 23 for the Rams.
I'm actually really interested what just happened there, considering New Canaan had no urgency whatsoever on the play. I don't think they were aware of the play clock that was ticking down on the play.
I would expect a screen pass here from New Canaan. 3rd and 23.
Cunny alone in the backfield. He'll push it up the middle, trying to get some back. Breaking free. He'll go down on the other side of the 50. The helmet will come off, so he'll have to sit out of play if New Canaan wanted to go for it. But either way, they're still behind the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 4th and long for the Rams here.
Although Fiorenzo right there didn't necessarily tackle Cunny, he still did a good job kind of tripping him up and really making it a tough time for Cunny. So, great job to disrupt it by Andrew Fiorenzo.
So Groff on to boot the ball away for the Rams now.
Too deep for Darien.
Minikis and Lesperance too deep. That's something they've done a lot all year. Groff gets this one away. Another high booming end-over-end kick that is going to land and bounce. A New Canaan bounce that'll actually keep this out of the end zone. Groff pins Darien deep once again. This ball landing inside the 5. Darien will take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
And this has been the story of this game, the field position game. Darien has only been able to get over midfield once, and they ended up getting sacked on 4th down, and New Canaan took over and back ahead in this game of field position.
Braden, when we talked leading up to this game, something that we constantly talked about was Ty Groff. As Drake hands this one off for a small gain for the Blue Wave. We talked about Ty Groff all week. We were so excited to see him, and he has proven just how good of a specialist he is thus far.
Yeah, he has made pretty much the difference in this game with that field goal at 3-0. I mean, he is such a talented kid, and he's just a junior. So head coach Lou Marinelli will be getting him back for another season.
Drake to Stafford once again. Stafford picked up 6 on the previous carry. This one is going to move the chains for the Blue Wave. That's Stafford once again. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Blue Wave. So maybe the Blue Wave trying to move away from Kaminsky, try to find something else as they're going with Jerry Stafford, it looks like now.
Peter, that's only Darien's 2nd first down of the game so far, in a game that they have negative 26 rushing yards, according to the stat sheet. So that's something they got to kind of change here.
Drake fakes to Kaminsky, goes to Stafford, who tried to bounce it to the other side. No gain, and it will be 2nd and about 10 for the Blue Wave here.
It's clear that New Canaan's been keen in on Comiskey because he's been your guy all year long. But now Darien trying to mix it up with a little misdirection, go to Stafford or Comiskey.
New Canaan defense, still not fooled. As it's Drake in the backfield, Kaminsky and Stafford on either side. Fake to Stafford. Kaminsky will throw it, or Drake will throw it to Stafford. A lot of names going on here. But Darien will pick up a few, and it will be 3rd and short for the Blue Wave.
Cognetta able to make the tackle, and Stafford, certainly a guy that you want to get in the open field. He's got the size, he's got the speed, very difficult to bring down.
So you saw it on the punt return earlier as Stafford was able to break free and pick up a bunch. Third and 2 for the Blue Wave. Drake in the backfield. He'll hand this one off to Kaminsky, who will barrel forward and pick up the 1st down.
I mean, it's not the biggest gain in the world, but it gets the job done. 1st down, moving the chains for the Blue Wave, keeping the drive alive. So good job there from the Blue Wave.
They could put some points on the board. They also get the ball at halftime.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. Darien deferred the opening coin toss, so they'll receive the 2nd half kick. Just over 3 minutes here left in the 1st half. Of course, Darien had to burn a timeout with some play issues earlier, so just 2 remaining for the Blue Wave. Drake hands this one off. Kaminsky trying to pick up something, able to get a few, 4, maybe 5, and it will be 2nd down.
An observation on that play, they handed it off to Comiskey, and 8 of the 11 New Canaan players out there were all pretty much on Comiskey and in some capacity putting a tackle on him. So New Canaan using all the power they can to try to take down Ty Comiskey.
Yeah, they know that Darien wants to establish the run game in order to get the pass game going as well. And
as you mentioned it, that's what Darien's done all year, force the entire defense to key in on Kaminsky and then hope they bust a coverage over top. Even St. Joe's, who's one of the top teams in the state, was doing that as Braden and I had that game and saw. Just not something this New Canaan defense has done thus far. Drake in the back, in the shotgun once again. Drake hands this one off once again.
Gain of 2 for Kaminsky.
It will be 3rd and 2 for the Blue Wave here. And we'll see if they continue the trend of just handing it off to Kaminsky and letting him barrel forward.
If you can get 4 yards from him every play, that's a first down every time. And clearly that seems to be the game plan now.
A reminder, fans, that you cannot re-enter the game at the halftime break if you choose.
Bo Aaron's checking into the game at middle linebacker. It looks like Vin Cognetta is a little bit banged up on the sideline.
It's a big one for New Canaan and something to keep our eyes on. Drake in the shotgun, dropping back, looking to throw. Looking over the middle. Gets rid of this one. Pass over the middle. Sails high on Lesperance and is intercepted. New Canaan will take it the other way. That's number 21, Dylan Murray.
Flag is down in the backfield. There might have been a roughing the passer penalty on that. But once again, Miles Drake had the time, just couldn't find a target.
He had Lesperance coming to the middle, but such a tight window there. Bo Aaron's playing underneath, and Dylan Murray was in the perfect position to make a play.
You see there, Drake
Let's see what
thrown. Sails high. Murray comes down with it and able to run it back. There was a holding penalty on New Canaan. It will not negate the interception. So New Canaan will still take over, just move back a little. The way the referee's walking it out, it's going to come out to about the 46-yard line where the Rams will take over 1st and 10. But Braden, you mentioned it. Darien has been stricken by turnovers in past Turkey Bowls. That's a trend they cannot afford to expand beyond that one interception.
Yeah, New Canaan, once again, good field position. Ty Groff has showed off his range. So if they can just move the ball a little bit in 92 seconds, I feel like they could put a field goal up and try to go up 6-0, if not 10-0 at the half.
You mentioned it, 92 seconds. 2 timeouts left here for the Rams with a minute and 32 left. Got to mention, Groff made from what turned out to be a 39-yard field goal. The ball was on the 22 there, but he had some room to spare on that, so you got to think they have a little more room than just having to get to the 22. Although, of course, New Canaan trying to get this one in the end zone.
We've got perfect conditions here today for kicking. Absolutely no wind, sunshiny day.
Low snap to Cunny. It went to Cognetta on the handoff. No gain, so 2nd and 10 for the Rams here. It's the clock ticking down.
Loss of 1 to the 47-yard line, 2nd and 11.
I'm not a big fan of that call there by Dan Farina. I would look for the Rams to be a little bit more aggressive here with only a minute left in the first half. Try and get up 2 scores.
On the other hand, the last thing you want to do is give Darien momentum heading into the half, as you had a screen there to Cognetta, who was able to pick up about 5 to set up 3rd down.
Canaan letting that clock tick down. They know that Darien will get the ball coming out of the half. They have 2 timeouts to spare, so they will probably take this right up until the halftime break.
Well, I did mention in my keys for the game that for New Canaan to win this, they need to control the time of possession. And if they don't score, but they keep Darien's offense off the field, that's a victory for them.
So New Canaan will run the play clock down and then call a timeout.
It's an official's timeout.
Or official's timeout, excuse me.
I don't know what the officials are doing, but they keep sending New Canaan players back and forth from the sideline, especially at that center position. So there's something going on there that the referee isn't completely pleased with.
30 seconds left here in the second half. Cunny dropping back, looking to throw. Pass deep over the middle is incomplete through the hands of Andrew Rechterman, who is trying to bring that down. 22.4 seconds left here in the second half. It will be 4th down for the Rams. And Ty Groff trotting on the field, looking like they're going to punt this ball away. Got 2 men back for the Blue Wave, Minikis and L'Esperance. And you got to think, Braden, it would take a big return to set something up here if the Wave wanted to do something with 23 seconds. But big returns have kind of been Darien's MO on special teams.
Not only a big return, but a quick return. 23 seconds left. You have no time to spare. You got to give the offense an opportunity to work.
High snap to Groff. This is going to be a short punt that's actually going to sail out of bounds, hitting a New Canaan sideline tent. The spot is going to be at about the 34, 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Blue Wave.
Well, like you guys just mentioned, a quick return could flip the field and give Darien an opportunity to score. I think Groff knew that and chose to kick it out of bounds. Probably meant to kick it a little bit further, but still, that's what the idea was there.
15.4 seconds left here in the first half. This first play will tell us a lot on what Darien plans on doing, possibly handing it off to Kaminsky, and just if he can break one, great. If not, run the clock out. They will not do that. Drake throws a screen to the far side, finds Minikis. Minikis trying to make a move, gets over top of someone, and this is going to run the clock down. It looks like Darien in no urgency to call a timeout, and that will do it for the first half here from Dunning Field. Your halftime score, New Canaan 3, Darien nothing. As you have another look at Minikis' attempted hurdle there. To be fair, he got over top. We're going to go down to the field with our sideline reporter, Ted Brennan. Both the New Canaan and Darien cheerleading squads will now take the field, and we will begin with New Canaan. New Canaan cheerleaders, Cameron Schneberger, Sammy Rosano, Izzy Kramer, Billy McManus, Anna Herman, Brooke Anderson, Zoe Kelly, and Alexandra Garmas.
job. Amazing. Hey, how are you? Good to see you too. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, Boyd. I need to tell you producer Tom.
Thank you so much, girls. And now it is our pleasure to welcome the Darien cheerleaders, including Emily Hackett, Annie Haydari, Morgan Hampton, Maddie Park, Amari Zerby, Caitlin Ledoux, Sophie Decker, Sam Biacco, Ava Stone, Ashley Triveros, Amanda Laxco, Olivia Fitzpatrick, and Ashlyn Stoller.
Ladies and gentlemen, down on the field, here come the Rams! The New Canaan Athletic Foundation is proud to announce the kickoff of its third major capital campaign, a public-private collaboration between the New Canaan Athletic Foundation and the town of New Canaan. The campaign will raise $5 million focused on renovation of Dunning Stadium, led by an upgrade to state-of-the-art game quality with halftime production lighting and a new high-tech press box. New Canaan has a rich history of private financial support for its athletic facilities, most notably represented by the Dunning and Hawes families. Now is the time to ensure that our athletic facilities infrastructure is competitive with neighboring communities while meeting the expanding needs of our community and its excelling youth. Over 3,000 students from 1,500 families participate in youth sports, with 70% of New Canaan High School students participating in athletics. Year over year, our impressive list of student-athlete college commitments illustrates the vital relationship between academics and sports in New Canaan. Additionally, several of our alumni play in the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, the PLL, and the WPLL. Please contribute to this important campaign by following the link with the QR code. For more information, visit our website and follow us on social media. Now is the time to join the generous donors who have invested in our town and given meaning to NC Pride.
I'm proud of the work the Darien Foundation has done over the past 20 years. If you live here, our work has likely impacted you, your family, and your neighbors. Since our founding in 1998, we've provided more than $4.2 million in grants, which create opportunity for Darien's youth, support our town's safety and security services, and enhance the overall quality of life in Darien through collaboration with community organizations.
As a family that's relatively new to town and planning to make this our long-term home, I'm grateful to see my community and my family benefit from the Darien Foundation. When I learned that the edible gardens at the elementary schools, the generator at the Darien Library, and the playground by the Sound were all funded by the same organization, I raised my hand to get involved. I'm proud to support an organization whose impact I see every day in our schools and throughout our community.
So far this year, the Darien Foundation has awarded $138,000 in grants to enhance our community. In 2013, the Darien Community Association opened a 4-acre bird sanctuary thanks to a grant from the Darien Foundation. The serene wooded glade has attracted numerous birds, bees, and butterflies, as well as more than 200 school children and other visitors. This year, they added a new pondless waterfall as well as more trees, plantings, signage, and benches. In 1976, the Darien Historical Society and Darien High School students built the Middlesex, an authentic replica of the 18th century whaleboats. These were used by local patriots in the Revolutionary War to fight the British Navy in Long Island Sound. The Darien Historical Society is restoring this artifact so that it can be part of Darien's upcoming 2020 bicentennial celebrations. The live turtle exhibit continues to be the most popular attraction for children at the Darien Nature Center, which welcomes over 16,000 visits annually. A new forest and pond ecosystem will allow visitors to engage with several species of turtle that will live together in a 50 square foot habitat that resembles their natural home.
This has been such a special collaboration between the Darien Nature Center and the Darien Foundation, because not only have they provided generous funding to us, but we've been able to meet with members of the foundation and our staff and talk about what is going to make the very best exhibit for the town of Darien, and we've really added value to the process by doing that.
The vast majority of food distributed by Person to Person is donated from local suppliers and businesses. A group of dedicated volunteers drives the brand new cargo van on these daily rounds, which each year account for more than $100,000 in collected food. Person to Person also has an extensive youth program, offering many Darien High School and middle school students their first experiences at volunteering.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have a beautiful new van. We're very excited about it, not only because it's new and it's safe for those who are riding in it and driving and going to pick up all the food, but also it speaks to the support of the Darien Foundation, as well as speaks to what Person to Person does in the community.
For more than 20 years, the Darien Foundation has been investing in Darien, offering our town's youth, emergency services, and community organizations an avenue to pursue innovation and excellence. Collaboration with you, the members of our community, has been vital to our mission. Thank you for supporting the Darien Foundation. We are building a better Darien together.
Ladies and gentlemen, down on the field, here come the Rams! The New Canaan Athletic Foundation is proud to announce the kickoff of its third major capital campaign, a public-private collaboration between the New Canaan Athletic Foundation and the town of New Canaan. The campaign will raise $5 million focused on renovation of Dunning Stadium, led by an upgrade to state-of-the-art game quality with halftime production lighting and a new high-tech press box. New Canaan has a rich history of private financial support for its athletic facilities, most notably represented by the Dunning and Hawes families. Now is the time to ensure that our athletic facilities infrastructure is competitive with neighboring communities while meeting the expanding needs of our community and its excelling youth. Over 3,000 students from 1,500 families participate in youth sports, with 70% of New Canaan High School students participating in athletics. Year over year, our impressive list of student-athlete college commitments illustrates the vital relationship between academics and sports in New Canaan. Additionally, several of our alumni play in the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, the PLL, and the WPLL. Please contribute to this important campaign by following the link with the QR code. For more information, visit our website and follow us on social media. Now is the time to join the generous donors who have invested in our town and given meaning to NC Pride. Ladies and gentlemen, down on the field, here come the Rams! The New Canaan Athletic Foundation is proud to announce the kickoff of its third major capital campaign, a public-private collaboration between the New Canaan Athletic Foundation and the town of New Canaan. The campaign will raise $5 million focused on renovation of Dunning Stadium, led by an upgrade to state-of-the-art game quality with halftime production lighting and a new high-tech press box. New Canaan has a rich history of private financial support for its athletic facilities, most notably represented by the Dunning and Hawes families. Now is the time to ensure that our athletic facilities infrastructure is competitive with neighboring communities while meeting the expanding needs of our community and its excelling youth. Over 3,000 students from 1,500 families participate in youth sports, with 70% of New Canaan High School students participating in athletics. Year over year, our impressive list of student-athlete college commitments illustrates the vital relationship between academics and sports in New Canaan. Additionally, several of our alumni play in the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, the PLL, and the WPLL. Please contribute to this important campaign by following the link with the QR code. For more information, visit our website and follow us on social media. Now is the time to join the generous donors who have invested in our town and given meaning to NC Pride.
Welcome back here for this joint production between DAF Media and NCTV. Your halftime score here is New Canaan 3, Darien nothing. We're just about ready to get started in the second half, but before we do that, we're going to take a look at some of the out-of-town scores going on around the state today.
Yeah, Peter, you know, a lot of big Thanksgiving Day games going on today. A lot of big rivalries, a lot of cross-town rivalries. You know, you got the Battle of Norwalk, Battle of Stamford, Battle of Trumbull, just so many good games. Then you have the big one. You have, well, of course you have this big one, but the other big one, Greenwich and Staples, the winner of that going to the state playoffs. So like I said, a lot of great games around the league today, and hopefully we can see the scores of those.
The winner of that game might play one of these teams.
That's a good point.
Very possible. Darien and New Canaan, at least in these two towns, gets all the attention, but by no means the only Thanksgiving Day game going on.
Yes, certainly a lot of playoff implications taking place here on Thanksgiving.
You mentioned the playoff implications. Braden, in this game specifically, some of the playoff implications in the FCAC.
Well, we talked about the FCAC, and to kind of reiterate that, if Darien wins this game today, if they come back and win it, they will take home an FCAC Champions Trophy, their first since 2016. Of course, the 10-0 best in the FCAC. But if New Canaan wins, it gets a little dicey. You have a three-way tie between these two teams, as well as St. Joseph, assuming they beat Trumbull. Tiebreakers, we're still working to figure those out. But if it goes to head-to-head, New Canaan would be 1-0, Darien would be 1-1, and St. Joe's would be 0-1 because of the loss to Darien. So it should be an interesting finish, though, if New Canaan wins and they have that three-way tie.
Now on the other side, the state implications going on.
Well, no matter who wins this game, both Darien and New Canaan would be on track to play each other in the state semifinals if they take care of business in the first round, of course. Darien, if they win, they're the 1 seed, and New Canaan would be the 5 seed against Shelton. And if New Canaan wins, they would be the 2 seed, and Darien would be the 3 seed.
It's also interesting, Brendan, the fact that New Canaan moved classes this year, originally in Class L, taking the state championship a couple years ago, and they got moved up to Class Double L this year, so that Darien-New Canaan rivalry might be up for another edition in the state playoffs.
You see the New Canaan Rams taking the field here, Darien already out, as we're getting ready to go underway here in the second half. Of course, this a joint production between NCTV and DAF Media. I'm Peter McLean, alongside me, Braden Shank and Brendan Tiscornia. We're ready for what's bound to be a great second half of football.
We have seen Darien down at halftime against Norwalk 21-20, and even in the fourth quarter 36-33 against Wilton. So down 3 here, they are certainly not out of this game.
It's something that this, even the Darien coaching staff is kind of aware of, and they know that they will get down at times. But as Mike Forget says, that this is a group of guys that can come back at any point, and if they put all their effort into it and fight, they can come back. So it should be an interesting second half.
Darien will be receiving the kick to start off the second half.
As you see on the field right now, sportsmanship awards being given to 2 players on either side. The winners for New Canaan, number 55, the senior Stephen Lucarelli. And on the other side, For Darien, number 57, the senior Brady Campbell for the Blue Wave. So great for both of them, and a great tradition of the Turkey Bowl.
You know, it's a rivalry game. At the end of the day, it's all about sportsmanship, and, you know, it's just a game at the end of the day, and both of these teams have a lot of great sportsmanship, and it's always an annual tradition to bring the two recipients out as well as the two athletic directors, Chris Manfredonia and Jay Egan, and they hand out the awards. It's another tradition just rooted in this rivalry.
Yeah, while teams get competitive on the field, try to keep it civil outside of that, as you see both student sections getting excited here as the teams take the field for the second half. Darien is going to be trailing by 3 as we get underway. Ty Groff connected on a 39-yard field goal in the first half for the only points of the game. Braden, we were looking over the halftime stats. Not a lot of offense in the game either.
No, New Canaan, they've dominated in the possession time, having an extra 3 minutes on the offense. But Darien, only 23 total offensive yards in that first half. They were in the negatives for a majority of that first half and using those last couple drives to bring them into the positives. But like I said, it should be an interesting last 24 minutes in this one.
That time of possession is so key for the outcome of this game. Darien, so talent-rich at seemingly every position on the field. You got Miles Drake. Carson Drake, a fantastic offensive lineman, and at the wide receiver and running back positions, just loaded on offense. So for New Canaan to keep them off the field is huge.
So here we go to start the second half. Ty Groff ready to boot it away. Minikis and Stafford back deep for the Blue Wave. Groff has a low kick that's going to go out of the back of the end zone. And Darien will start with a touchback.
Darien, they just need to connect on the plays and get the offense going. Their defense has been playing pretty stellar, just limiting New Canaan to that tough field goal that they made. So their offense really has to get going if they want to try to win this game.
Yeah, it seemed like at the end of that first half, it was only a 3-0 game, but it felt like New Canaan had all the momentum, especially after Miles Drake threw the interception. Either way, Darien back out on the field. Drake in the shotgun. Hands this one off to Kaminsky. Kaminsky to the near side. And he'll be hit for a gain of 1, maybe 2, to set up second down. Of course, Darien wearing all white, going left to right on your screen. New Canaan in all black, and they'll be going right to left in this third quarter as we'll take another look.
Peter, we talk so much about these stats, and Ty Kaminsky, 100-plus yards in Darien's last 6 games. So far in this one, just 15 total rushing yards for Ty Kaminsky.
Drake bails out, finds an open man on the far side. That's Stafford on the reception. He'll pick up the first down and some.
Flag thrown.
Flag down. Looked from our view like a face mask, but we're also on the other side of the field. We'll see what the official call is from the official.
And it will be a face mask, and that's another 15 yards for the Wave.
So the Wave, we're out to the 40. It's going to move them into New Canaan territory here on their opening drive of the second half. The spot's going to be on the 45, 1st and 10 for the Blue Wave, following the Stafford reception, which you have another look at on your screen there. Drake and Kaminsky in the shotgun. 3 wide on the near side, sole receiver on the far side. Drake bailing out to the near side, looking to throw. Drake's pass it just falls harmlessly to the ground.
Great pocket there set up by that Darien offensive line, but just nobody open downfield. And going against the grain like that, throwing across the field, across your body, that's a dangerous throw by Miles Drake.
Connor Bailey was in the general vicinity for an interception, but was not able to come down with it. It fell harmlessly to the ground and front. So 2nd and 10 for the Blue Wave here. Drake in the shotgun. Kaminsky will be next to him. 3 wide on the near side. Minikis alone on the far once again. Drake will pull this one and be hit at the line of scrimmage and dragged down for a loss.
Once again, that idea from New Canaan that they can't tackle these guys with one guy, and they take a trio of players to stop Miles Drake behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it seems that almost every position Darien has a size advantage, and for New Canaan to get as many black shirts to the ball as they can is how they're going to bring them down.
Braden, I'm curious your thoughts on this, because Darien has only taken 1, maybe 2 shot plays thus far. Is that something you think they'll do more of, or will they stick to the ground, pounding ground?
I think they got to pass the ball. The running game New Canaan has shown they can defend against and really stop Darien from minimal game. They need to try those long passes and really just any pass they can.
Drake dropping back will throw a dump off to Kaminsky. Kaminsky able to get a few yards and some more. He's definitely short of the first down. Looks like the spot's going to be 3 yards short of it about. So 4th and 3 for the Blue Wave now.
I think they're going to go for it here.
We saw them go for it from a similar spot on the field. Of course, different yardage to get. And that backfired, but looks like the offense is staying on the field. 4th and 3 for the Blue Wave. Opening drive of the second half. This is a big one for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, they're in a position. They might try to draw New Canaan offsides with a fake snap count, but in the case they don't, I think they're prepared to try to get a minimal gain of just 4 yards and just move the chains and keep the possession going.
Kaminsky's such a big physical back. I would expect him to get it up the gut here.
Ball on the near hash. 2 receivers on either side. Drake, high snap. Dropping back, looking to throw under pressure. He'll get this one off. Dumping it off to Stafford. Ball is incomplete. New Canaan will take over on downs.
And who's in the backfield but Chad Russo yet again. He just cannot be stopped. He's running circles around Carson Drake on the edge.
I mean, that's something where Miles Drake, he is immediately being attacked by New Canaan, like right there. Chad Russo just broke his lineman, really forcing Miles Drake's hand, and he's lucky that he found a receiver and Stafford just couldn't complete the pass.
Yeah, Braden, you did say earlier that you were looking for Darien to take more shots down the field. And I see what the problem is. A couple plays ago, Matthew Minikis was open down the field, but just too much pressure there from the Rams.
Yeah, Rams taking the ball over now. Cunny and Cognetta in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Cognetta. He'll bounce it to the near side. He's into the open field. Cognetta with just Medward to beat. A block seals that. Cognetta to the 5. Touchdown, New Canaan. A huge run by Vin Cognetta for the first touchdown of this one.
Wow. What a way to get the scoring starting from Vin Cognetta.
Vin Cognetta at 5'8", 200 pounds. He is a force to be reckoned with, and he is fast as lightning, too.
So you see Cognetta just cut it back there, and then it was just if Medwar can get to him, but a great block by wide receiver Max Salert doesn't allow that to happen. New Canaan gets into the end zone to take a 9-0 lead with Groff on for the extra point. That kick was up and good, sailing into the parking lot here at New Canaan High School. So that will give New Canaan a 10-0 lead, and you can't think New Canaan dreamed of a better start coming out of the second half. Stop from Darien, take it, score quickly on a deep run. All the momentum is with the Rams right now.
Absolutely, Peter. I forgot your name for a second. But, yeah, New Canaan, even against some of their lesser opponents, they haven't been able to hit the big play. That's been their issue all year, and they have been plentiful, whether it be sacks, interceptions, and now the long run from Vin Cognetta. That is just something they haven't had all year, and to have it in the Turkey Bowl, that's just something else.
I want to get into that New Canaan locker room, because this is the second week in a row that they have come out of the gate firing in the second half. Fairfield Ward, they scored 2 touchdowns, only running 3 offensive plays in that second half. And right there, first play they run on offense, a long touchdown from Cognetta.
Although on the other side of the ball, this Darien team is a Darien team that has accelerated out of half times usually. So down, but definitely not out in this Turkey Bowl right now is Groff ready to kick it off to Minikis and Stafford back deep. Groff with a kick that Stafford is going to field at the 5, trying to find some room and make something happen. Stafford out to the 20. Gets to about the 24 before he is brought down by a multitude of New Canaan defenders.
It's going to be interesting on this offensive drive what Darien does. If they're going to go to the reliable guy in Jeremiah Stafford this game, or if they're going to go to their superstars, they're going to kind of shut down in Matthew Minikis and Ty Kaminsky. Minikis only 1 catch for 5 yards in the game, so he's just been absolutely shut down in this game.
And New Canaan, they knew how talented that Matthew Minikis is, and he just cannot see any daylight. He's double-teamed on almost every play.
Drake in the backfield. Kaminsky on one side. I believe that's Stafford on the other here. Stafford's going to motion to the near side. Drake screen to Stafford. having some room, but not too much. He'll be forced out of bounds for a small gain that will set up second down for the Blue Wave.
Stafford, he's certainly been your guy throughout this game for Darien. Whether it's been the big kick return, and he's been having a bigger role in the run game and now the passing game. But New Canaan really keying on Kaminsky, and for Coach Mike Forget to have another option like that is really good for the Wave.
Two receivers out wide for the Wave, but it's going to go to Stafford in the backfield. Stafford breaking free. He's out past the 40, past the 45 to the 47. That'll move the chains. Helmet came off of number 7. That's Riley Gardner, so he'll have to come out for a play.
Now Alex Benevento, a sophomore, checks into the game for Gardner.
You have another look at it there. Stafford just dragging a defender for a yard or two. A solid gain there for him, and it will set up first down. Drake dropping back, looking to throw. Under pressure once again. He's able to get away from one man. Drake scanning the field. Pass over the middle is caught by Jeremiah Stafford at the 40-yard line, and that will move the chains once again for the Blue Wave.
What impresses me most about Miles Drake's game is his footwork out there. He can just absolutely dodge any defenders. You see right there, dodges Ned Brady, has another defender coming on him, gets the throw off. He is so talented, and Stafford doing a nice job on the other end to pick up the reception.
Yeah, Stafford bobbling it a little there, but able to come down with it.
Great awareness by Stafford, too. That was a play bootleg right, but when the play breaks down, Stafford comes to the right, and he's open for his quarterback.
Drake ball deep to Lesperance. No one in the area. He comes down with this touchdown. Darien.
That is what Darien needed. They were getting shut down on the short games. They needed to take that long pass, and Jalen Lesperance is there and makes the catch, and Darien is right back in this game.
The thing that we talked about is Darien wasn't able to take deep shots because Drake got under pressure too quickly. Right there, Lesperance goes deep right away. Quick deep shot over the top, and it results in a Darien touchdown.
Yeah, once Miles Drake finally gets a clean pocket, he's able to make a play.
You know, we have a first half that's a stalemate between the teams. We come out in 2 quick touchdowns in this second half, just 4 minutes in.
McMullen on for the kick. That's up and good over the heads of the New Canaan students. You said it, Braden. Almost nothing going in the first half, just the Tygroff field goal as we have another look here at Lesperance hauling that in and bringing it into the end zone. But just the Tygroff field goal in the first half, and now 2 quick touchdowns here in the first 4 or so minutes of this second half.
It just shows you that both teams had a slow start coming into it, and both teams out of the half knew what they needed to do differently, changed what they had to do, and they both have come out firing.
Both teams all year have been explosive coming out of the second half. Darien continuing that trend, New Canaan continuing that trend as now back to a 3-point game. 8-12 left in the third quarter here.
Bad news for New Canaan. Chad Russo looks a little bit limp on the sideline. He got banged up after the collision with Jeremiah Stafford. Certainly a key player on that defense. Hate to see him injured.
So Trevor Herget will be doing the kicking off for the Blue Wave here.
I mentioned comes from the long line of Herget's volleyball and football players. Nice combination, but a talented kickoff kicker in Trevor Herget.
Herget boots this one away. Shorter kick. It will land and check up, so New Canaan's not going to be able to do much on the return. They'll take over at about the 25.
You got to remember, that's a live ball. If Darien comes up with that, they gain possession.
So the Rams are ready to take over on offense. A Darien student section that was silenced the last time New Canaan on the field has started to come back a little after the Lesperance touchdown, but definitely turning into a game of momentum as the Turkey Bowl always does.
And Hunter Telesco is in the backfield for the Rams. Oh, now an empty set.
And now Benevento checks into the backfield with Cunny back there in the shotgun. Jet sweep to the near side, trying to cut it back over the middle, but is dropped down. That was Max Salert, the junior, on the carry.
gain of 2 or 3 there for Salert. He's been quiet throughout this game.
Yeah, we talked about it in the open. We had a nice wide receiver comparison graphic between Matthew Minikis and Matt Salert, 2 names that we have barely said at all specifically with Minikis.
They have a combined 12 receiving yards tonight between Salert and Minikis, so might need to get a different graphic up for the next game.
It's false start there on right tackle Julian Braun.
But I think one of the points from that, Braden, is that both of these teams are so deep that even if you shut down their number 1 guy, there's still another one and another one waiting in the wings to have their moment.
That's why these teams are so dominant for so long, is they have these depth and they always are just having a system of players coming through.
I agree, Braden. When you're able to get sophomores, juniors, and seniors into the game, that ensures success for the future.
Cunny dropping back, pass over the middle is caught, or incomplete, excuse me. Had it initially, but upon contact with the ground, fell incomplete. That was the senior Luke Damel in coverage for the Blue Wave.
He's able to get a hand in there and break up the play, but New Canaan really has not been able to get much going through the air so far.
Only
3rd
2
and 12, surely they'll be going in the air once again.
3rd and 12 here, as you said, for the Rams. Cunny and Telesco are going to be in the backfield. We've got Salert on the near side in solo coverage with Medwar.
They got 5 seconds. They got to get this going.
Telesco's going to motion out. Play clock running down. Cunny gets the snap off, looking to throw. Targeting Salert on the near side. That's going to go incomplete. That was Medwar in coverage for the Blue Wave, and it's going to set up 4th and long.
Yeah, Cunny, he really hasn't done much today. He's 2 for 8 on the passing with only 11 passing yards. It's really all been rushing for the Rams this afternoon.
Medwar getting congratulated as he heads back over to the sideline. Talked about Minikis and Salert having quiet days. That wouldn't happen without the coverage in cornerback. Medwar done a great job thus far shutting down Salert as Groff gets ready to try and flip the field. Minikis and Lesbrance back deep for the Blue Wave. So Lesbrance will field this at the 40, fumbled. I believe he got back up on top of that right away, but we're awaiting an official signal here.
It does look like Darien's in possession. New Canaan pointing, but
it looks there. You see on your screen, Lesbrance able to come up with it.
It is New
no,
Canaan
it's
ball.
going to be New Canaan ball right away. Lesbrance with the muffed punt. So New Canaan will take over on the 40-yard line.
It's interesting on the replay. This is like, I believe, the 3rd time he's done this year. The ball goes through his hands, hits his kneecap, and goes in front of him. And this time it's turned over.
So we see a very clear shot there of Lesbrance down, and it looks like he has possession. But by the time the referees got in, number 21, Dylan Murphy, the senior for New Canaan, was able to rip it free. And New Canaan will retain possession, 1st and 10.
And it seems like that's just the story of this game. New Canaan's just been getting these breaks, whether it be the muff punt, the interception earlier, and the sack on 4th down. They've just been getting the plays that they need to go their way.
As Cognetta carried it there and ran it forward for a small gain, and it will set up 2nd and 8 for the Rams.
Once again, those are those little errors that Darien needed to clean up coming out of the half.
But that's not something that game plan can make up for. That's a play that Lesbrance is expected to make.
Vin Cognetta carrying it once again will set up 3rd and short here for the Rams.
Just one of those things that Darien's trying to shift the momentum back in their way, and just every one of these shots come right back at them and turn the momentum continuing into New Canaan's way.
New Canaan stacking the box here.
Got 2 wide, man in the backfield, and of course Cunny in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off, and he is dropped at the line of scrimmage immediately. That was Connor Bailey on the carry for New Canaan. It will be 4th down. We'll have another look.
Quick with the tackle, and was very quick to make the tackle on it.
It's number 31, Sean Quick, with the tackle.
4th and short. This would be a 49-yard field goal, so a little bit out of Groff's range. New Canaan looks like they're going to go for it here.
Either way, such a short distance in this type of game. It's something that if you can pick up, that's going to be huge.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Peter. Big momentum play here.
Connor Bailey in the backfield behind Cunny. That's the first time we've seen that today. He'll pull this one, looking to throw. Near side. Ball is incomplete right through the hands there of Jack McPhillips, the 6'1 senior. First time we've said his name today. So we have another look here. Cunny, a beautiful throw just right through Phillips' hand. And if he comes down with it, 1st and 10 New Canaan from maybe the 2 or 3 yard line there. But now Darien will take over and take a huge exhale after that one.
And for a quarterback who's been struggling all day, you really want to see you guys make that catch.
Stafford bouncing it to the near side, trying to find something. He'll be pushed out of bounds around, I believe the official spot is turning out to be about the 43, which will be enough to move the chains. 1st down, Blue Wave.
What's interesting on that pass, once again, McPhillips, he's their big play guy. In their last 2 games, only 1 catch in the game, both going for 20-plus yards. So he is kind of their big playmaker they bring on for that big play, and they did there, taking the shot for the end zone.
Stafford motioning. Drake hands this one off to Kaminsky, who will barrel it up the gut. Those are the kinds of plays we're used to seeing from him for a gain of about 4 to set up 2nd down.
I disagree with the call to go for the end zone. It's only 4th and 2. You really don't need to make that play there.
Either way, Darien out with it now. Drake, Stafford, and Kaminsky in the backfield. Stafford with it on the near side. And he will be knocked out of bounds right on the 50-yard line. And that will set up 3rd down and about 3 or 4 for the Blue Wave.
This is a 3rd down that will make or break the Blue Wave. They can move the chains and keep the offense on the field with limited time left in this 3rd quarter.
I like what Darien's doing with the 2 running back set. You're able to use Kaminsky as a lead blocker for Stafford, who's just been having a whale of a day so far.
Man in motion for the Blue Wave. Drake dropping back. Under pressure. Ball comes out. New Canaan unable to pick it up. Ball still free. They do come down with it. The Rams do. Awaiting an official signal, but all early indications point to New Canaan coming down with it. And I'm wrong once again. The Blue Wave, the signal was 4th down. You see here, Drake loses the ball. That's number 12, Russo, in there.
Javi Perez Soto, little eager. He sees all that green grass in front of him.
He's thinking 6. Easterbrook dives for it, and I think James Tom coming in right there comes away with the football.
It looked like New Canaan was going to come down with it, but unable to do so. That's a ball, Braden, you got to fall on and not think about a touchdown. You got to take the possession here as now Herget on to punt for the Blue Wave, looking to flip the field.
Being pressured.
Ooh. That punt very close to being blocked. It will take a Darien bounce and roll all the way down past the 30 to about the 28-yard line where New Canaan will take over. We talked about New Canaan getting a break or 2. That's a huge break for the Blue Wave. We're going to throw it down to Ted Brennan on the sideline now.
Even though they just let up one to Darien early on, both teams have been really uncharacteristic. They're both top scorers in the FCIAC and the CIAC. So we'll see if their touchdowns that they scored provide a spark for their offenses. But so far, nothing's happened after those touchdowns. Guys, back to you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for that, Ted. We just heard the announcement. That was Russo's 3rd sack there on 3rd down, which gives him the school sack record now.
And he hasn't just been doing it against anybody. He's really been showing up in these big games. He has 3 today, and he had 5 against Greenwich.
Yeah, coming in when they need him the most as a carry there to number 33, Hunter Telesco, goes for a short game to set up second down for the Rams.
The way the second half has been going for the Rams offensively, I think you want to keep plugging on with the run because the pass just really has not been there for you.
Cunny in the backfield, hands this one off once again. Plowing forward, picking up a short game. I believe that's Telesco on the carry once again, and it will set up third and about 3 for the Rams here.
This is a third down stop the Blue Wave really could use if they could stop it and force the Rams' hands on fourth down, especially as the clock is slowly ticking away in this game, and they need to get the ball back and really put the ball in the hands of the offense.
And Cognetta in the game here, he's your short distance guy. I've said it probably too many times.
It's Telesco once again with Cunny in the backfield. So this one is going to go to Cognetta, who came in, almost brought down to the backfield, is ending up getting tackled for a loss. There were a few men in there. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. It will be 4th and 3 once again for the Rams, and it looks like they're going to punt this one away. We'll take another look here. You see that's number 17, Leighton Reeser, who had a chance to bring him down for a loss. Then Caesar had a chance to bring him down. Caesar was able to trip him up, and then a few Darien defenders finished the job.
That's exactly what Darien needed, and now they're going to try their luck on the punt once again. This time, looks like they got Minikis back on the punt return. They just need to at least catch it and gain possession.
Tigroff punting once again. Minikis, as you said, back deep. Good snap as Groff hits another wonderful punt that is going to take a New Canaan bounce. Minikis getting out of the way to make sure he doesn't touch that one. This is going to roll all the way down inside the 5 as Ty Groff hits yet another masterful punt to pin Darien deep back in their own territory for the 3rd time today.
That's a 60-yard punt from Ty Groff. And now Darien once behind in the field possession game. That's really been the difference in this game so far.
Yeah, I got a nice Darien, or nice New Canaan bounce there at the end of that punt. So Darien once again backs against the wall. The one thing they have going for them is they aren't directly in front of the student section this time. But besides that, not a whole lot doing. Drake in the shotgun hands this one to Kaminsky, who is brought down on the 1, just barely able to get out of the end zone before being hit by a combination of New Canaan defenders. We have another look there.
Looks like Russo broke the line and stopped Comiskey behind the line of scrimmage, and now Darien, as I said it before, have their back up against the wall at the 2-yard line. They need to get something going.
Still.
Now, if you're New Canaan, the dogs are barking, and Chris Silvestri's going to let him loose. I would expect to see a lot of pressure here.
Drake dropping back, looking to throw, standing in his own end zone. Under pressure, he's under pressure. Ball comes out of the back of the end zone. That'll be a safety. Miles Drake tried to throw it away, ended up falling out of the back of the end zone. So a safety, making it 12-7 New Canaan, and New Canaan will get the ball here.
Vin Cognetta, big play on offense and defense. He's able to strip Miles Drake, and it goes out of the end zone.
Also, that takes away Darien's field goal disadvantage. They had a chance to hit a field goal and tie the game, as you see there. Cognetta drops Drake. Ball comes out. Safety in the back of the end zone for the Blue Wave, as there is a New Canaan player down being helped off the field. We'll take another look at the safety, though. As you see Drake there scanning the field, looking for something. Cognetta coming, just hits Drake's arm as he tries to chuck that away. Going to go out of the back of the end zone. 12-7 is your score now.
The injured Ram is Captain Connor Bailey, playing both sides of the ball, running back and safety for the Rams. He's a big loss if he can't get back in this one.
So here we go. Herget kicking it away on the safety kickoff for the Blue Wave here.
This is where New Canaan's going to try to put the Blue Wave away. If they can send one in the back of the end zone and make it a 12-point game, then it's going to be tough for Darien to come back.
Benevento and Telesco back deep for the Rams here, as Herget kicks it away. As you mentioned, Braden, big possession here. You got to think Darien needs a stop to stay in this game.
They need to stop, and they got to flip the field and try to put a score up on the board to their name as well.
Benevento fielding, trying to get back across the field. He'll be dragged down just shy of the 50. Call it the 46-47 yard line, and that will set up 1st and 10 for the Rams here. Man, you can feel the tension in the stadium now as everyone knows how important this drive is for New Canaan.
Yeah, you know, it's a 48-minute game here, and this possession really could decide who comes out of here with a win and who comes out of here with a loss. And New Canaan, they're just going to look to put points up, preferably a touchdown, but if they have to resort to a field goal, they'll make it a 8-point game.
That's the one thing. Field goal would make it an 8-point game. That's still a 1-score game, which makes it a lot more manageable of a deficit. As here's a handoff to Cognetta. He'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out. Both teams signaling is there is a flag on the far side of the field. The head referee has signaled that it will be New Canaan possession, so they were able to fall on it. But a scary moment there if you're the Rams. There was a flag thrown by the far referee, so we'll see what that call is.
And that's going to bring us into the 4th quarter. And New Canaan, Vin Cognetta, he's only lost one ball in the year. Their offense isn't the most electric, but where they exceed is keeping control of the ball. The one game that they lost, it's because of the turnovers, and that's been the difference in this one, turnover margin.
The flag has been picked up by the referee. So no flag on the play. You saw the replay of the fumble there. That will do it for the 3rd quarter here. From Dunning Field, your score, New Canaan 12, Darien 7.
Thanks, guys. One of the things at halftime that I talked about with Tim Graham and Mark Evanchik of Darien was the offensive line struggles. Normally this is a very stout line, but today they've looked a little shaky. And they didn't necessarily blame it on the offensive line themselves, as they are a very good unit. They more put it on the New Canaan defensive schemes. They've thrown some things that this Darien team has not seen, and it's worked to perfection, making Miles Drake uncomfortable in the pocket, forcing a lot of fumbles and a lot of sacks. Guys, back to you.
Thanks for that, Ted. We're back here on the DAF Media Network with NCTV in production today as well. Of course, a joint broadcast between the two to bring you the Turkey Bowl as we have a carry by New Canaan. That was number 33, Hunter Telesco.
New Canaan really following the game plan of taking up as much time as you possibly can, but 3rd and 9 here, only up 5. I would try and take a shot here, get the first down.
Yeah, and you got to think, we talked about it at the beginning of the possession, a huge spot for the Blue Wave defense here.
This really can make or break the game for the Blue Wave. If they give up a touchdown, it's now a 2-score game. And
5 seconds on the play clock.
Cunning and Telesco. Cunning dropping back, looking to throw, under pressure, popping forward in the pocket, still looking to get rid of it. Dragged down from behind. That was number 78, the senior Cole Murphy, able to bring down Cunning short of the first down marker, and that will set up 4th down for the Rams. We'll take another look. Cunning under pressure, pushing it up through the pocket. Missed tackle there, but Cole Murphy able to drag him down.
yeah, look at the hustle there from Cole Murphy. He hustled a good 10 yards to tackle Cunning. That's an impressive play right there, forcing 4th and 5th for New Canaan.
And when you talk about this Darien defensive front, obviously David Evanchik's name comes up first, but Cole Murphy's been having a terrific season as well. He's got 60 total tackles.
Groff ready to punt it away. He's standing on the 40. It's Minikis back deep alone. He'll let this one go out of bounds. Photographer almost made a spectacular catch on the far side around the 20.
I don't think he was that close.
Give him the credit. And Darien will take over there. Another look here.
At least it was a graceful fall.
So Darien back with the ball, 12-7. New Canaan leads. Just a 5-point game. Field goal would help, but wouldn't tie it. Touchdown would give them the lead here.
They're definitely going for the end zone on this possession. They are going to try to get the lead in this game and really make a statement here on Thanksgiving morning.
Drake with the ball. Kaminsky next to him. Drake dropping back, moving to the near side, looking to throw. Drake's going to take off with it. He's to the 25 and out of bounds just in that area. Spot is going to be at the 27 to set up second down for the Blue Wave.
Gain of roughly 5 or 6, and Miles Drake really hasn't used his legs a lot in this game. Certainly a capable runner, but really looking pass first.
Second and 5 for the Blue Wave here. Just over 10 minutes left in this game now. We're in the fourth quarter. Drake with Kaminsky next to him. Minikis on the near side. Kaminsky's going to take this one, try to make a move, but he's brought down. Gets out to the 28, 29-yard line, so a small gain. And it's going to set up third down for the Blue Wave.
Schmitz and Cognetta wrap him up as a tandem. Those two have been all over the field. Combined for 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles.
Yeah, Kaminsky, that's his 10th rush of the afternoon, and he only has 15 yards to show for it. He's just been shut down by New Canaan today.
Drake hands it off to Kaminsky once again. He'll plow forward, breaking free a little, enough to pick up the first down and move the ball out to the 45-yard line.
And as I bring up that stat, he just rushes for 15-yard, doubling his total.
So we'll have another look at it here. You see, and this is what makes Kaminsky so dangerous. You can shut him down all game, but it just takes one for him to get loose up the middle and pick up a solid gain, as he did there. So first and 10 for the Blue Wave now. Drake, Stafford, and Kaminsky all in the backfield. And this one will go to Kaminsky once again, but he'll be dropped for no gain, maybe a loss.
Javier Perez Soto, the junior on the stop. He's just seen his role get bigger and bigger as this season goes on, and he just made a big play in the fourth quarter of the Turkey Bowl.
That's second and 11 now for the Wave. Braden, you think Darien might move away from Kaminsky here towards the end of this game?
I think they're going to look to pass more. Matthew Minikis has been shut down so far this game. They might try to throw to him and get a breakthrough pass.
Drake dropping back, looking to throw. Under pressure, having to bail out to the far side. He dumps this one off over the middle. That's number 32, Kaminsky, with the reception. He'll bring it out, still going, all the way down to about the 36-yard line. First down, Darien.
Darien's student section has some life in them. Finally celebrating for once in this afternoon.
Great job of Miles Drake using his legs to extend the play. And also the awareness from Kaminsky to see that Ryan Warneberg, who's guarding him, kind of started paying attention to Drake, and he was wide open there.
First down, Darien. 8:21 left here in this one. So you got Drake, Kaminsky, and Stafford all in the backfield once again. Lesperance, a lone receiver on the far side. Stafford motions out. This ball handoff to Kaminsky. He'll take it up the middle. Stopped, a short gain, 3, maybe 4. And that will set up second down for the Blue Wave.
Once again, it takes 8 New Canaan players to stop the forward momentum of Ty Kaminsky. That just shows you his strength and his ability to plow through oppositions.
I'm surprised that Darien hasn't gone to the play-action pass. The way that New Canaan's been keen on the run throughout this game, it seems like it would be a good option.
Drake in the shotgun. Kaminsky next to him. And we have a flag. Darien's going to move back 5 yards to set up second and 13, excuse me.
That's interesting. Brady Campbell called for the false start. The line judge that was closest to him didn't call it, but it was the other line judge, and he even got back into position for a second. So a little bit of a delayed call.
Either way, second and 12 for the Blue Wave here. Drake dropping back, looking to pass. Trying to find Minikis. This ball is to him. Searching for it. Minikis can't bring it in. That will fall incomplete and set up third and 12. So you see an injured Ram down on the field there.
That's Chris Bopp who's down after the play. But once again, you can see 2 men on Matthew Minikis. They're shadowing him wherever he goes. They know how talented he is.
Yeah, Minikis has been a factor in every game for the Wave, pretty much, besides this one, it seems. Although you got to think Drake's going to start looking for him more and more as we come down the stretch here.
Chris Bob down on the play. He missed the last game against Fairfield Ward, so he's already a little banged up coming to this one. Good to see him getting off the field under his own power. Be 3rd and long for the Wave.
7:01 left here in this one. 3rd and 12 for Darien. New Canaan leads 12-7, but Darien looking to make something happen here. Each team has a touchdown in the second half. New Canaan picked up a safety along with it, plus the first half field goal gives them their 12 points.
Nickel look for the Rams. They've brought out that extra defensive back. Alex Benevento and Walker Blair are in for them. Surely this is a passing down.
Drake dropping back, looking to throw, under pressure. He gets this one out, sails high, falls incomplete, and that will set a 4th and 12 here. Under 7 minutes remaining. Now Mike Forget has a decision to make.
Ryan Warnerberg drilled Drake on the throw. He had the man open, but just not able to get the pass off. And Chris Bopp is back into the game. Good sight to see if you are a Rams fan.
I think there's a chance that this offense might be staying on the field. It is a big game like this. You need to make a big-time play. And
not a lot of time left in the game, too. You got to factor that in as well.
So Drake will stay out in the shotgun. Crowd coming alive here. They need 12. Drake takes it, dropping back, looking to throw. He'll dump this off to Minikis on a screen. Minikis makes a move, still alive. He's going to be dragged down well short of the first down marker, and New Canaan will take over. 1st and 10.
And you see short pass on 4th down. I don't know about going with the screen there when you absolutely need to pick that up. Questioning call from Coach Mike Forget.
You can see Minikis, he caught the pass there, and he collided with Ty Comiskey on this side of the field and probably lost a little bit there, but 12 yards is a lot to get for the Blue Wave.
That was an ambitious play call, to say the least here. As 6:46 left here now in this 4th quarter, New Canaan will take over from the just shy of the 32-yard line, 1st and 10. They lead by 5. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, as we are headed for what is bound to be a great finish. Honey in the shotgun. He'll hand this one off, and he won't. He pulls it himself and goes out of bounds. It was Cognetta who he pulled the ball from. Quarterback keeper to the far side, picks up a few, sets up 2nd down.
Cole Murphy for the Wave came through untouched. He was keying on Cognetta, who had the big touchdown earlier on, and Coney saw that and took himself.
New Canaan getting in their play call here. Clock stopped at 6:40.
And now a page from the Wave playbook with the pistol formation.
And stopped right at the line by the Darien front. That will set up 3rd down, no gain there. 3rd and 6 from the 36, as you see there. Once again,
this next play, the Blue Wave will be putting just about everything they got into. If they can make this 3rd down stop, giving a potentially a little under 6 minutes with the ball, that's exactly what they want.
Cole Murphy was there in on the stop there. We're 6:10 left here. 3rd and 6 for the Rams. You said it, Braden. Huge play here for the Blue Wave. Cunny takes the snap, dropping back, looking to throw. Pass over the middle is falling incomplete. Wide open receiver was number 17, Max Salert. Wide open might be a little ambitious. Salert drops the ball, though, as he would have been down by the 40-yard line, had a step or two on Allegro there. It will fall incomplete and be 4th and 6. Groff will come on to punt it away.
Good throw by Cunny. I'm sure he has to be incredibly frustrated. A lot of drops for these Rams.
It seems like whenever New Canaan has a pass that would do a lot for momentum, it just falls incomplete. As Groff here boots this one away for the Rams. A short bit punt under it. It's going to end up being short. It'll take a fairly even bounce, maybe New Canaan a little. That'll go inside the 39, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Blue Wave. 5:45 left here in the 4th quarter. New Canaan 12, Darien 7, and Darien with the ball 1st and 10, looking to make something happen.
All the Blue Wave needs to do is kind of do their game plan they have all season. They take it game by game, play by play. They need to forget all about everything that has happened this game and just focus on this possession.
And you saw in that last 4th down, they got it to Minicus as on the screen. But you could see there that they're desperate to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and they want to see what he can do in open space.
Kaminsky able to pick up 2 or 3, sets up 2nd down for the Blue Wave. Wernberg will trot off with his helmet coming off.
Warnerberg has had a significant impact on the edge. Axon checking in for him for a play.
Drake in the shotgun. Dropping back, throws a screen to Lesperance on the far side. That is caught, and he was down. So they're actually going to end up losing yards on this play. And that will set up 3rd and 10 or 11 for the Blue Wave here with just over 5 minutes to go.
And I think Lesperance got to know better than that. You know the rules in high school football. If you have your knee down, you're down where you are. You're behind the line of scrimmage. You're better off dropping that.
Here we go, 3rd and 11 for Darien. Drake with Kaminsky. New Canaan secondary going to drop off into coverage a little. Drake under pressure right away, able to break free. He's looking to throw. He will throw. Sails Stafford high. That will fall incomplete. 4th and 11.
And Drake had a lot of open field. He could have took that himself for a 1st down, but
it looked like Russo was going to bring him down. He fell to the ground and is unfortunately still there, favoring what looks like some part of his leg. Either way here, that ball ended up being incomplete. So 4th and 11 for Miles Drake and the Blue Wave here, down by 5. So you have a look there at Chad Russo, who is down.
Blue Wave, they've been trying those passes all game, and it feels like they've had a lot of errors just on finding the right time in the routes or throwing the ball high or low. And right there, he soared that one pretty good over Jeremiah Stafford's head. And Stafford's 6 foot. It's not like he's a small guy. It was a high pass, and Darien needs to clean that up here, especially now on 4th and 11 late in this game.
So, Braden, if you're Mike Forget on the sideline, what are you doing here? 4th and 11, 4:29 left. Each team has 3 timeouts, so some time to work with. But what's your play call?
I mean, I'm not the coach out there. It's kind of tough to tell. I mean, there's really 2 ways he can go about it. I mean, personally, if I'm Mike Forget, I'm taking the safe route on it and punting the ball away. Your defense has shown that they can stop New Canaan, and worst case scenario, like we said, force them to a field goal, a long field goal, and make it an 8-point game. But it's a risky call. Once again, I'm not getting paid to make these calls. So I could be completely wrong, but I do think they're going to punt the ball away and trust the defense.
I agree, Braden. You don't want New Canaan to get possession on your side of the field. Their offense has been fairly stagnant in this half, and if they only need 20 yards to get a field goal there.
Yeah, that's the thing, Brennan. I mean, if they go for it on 4th down, they are pretty much going big or going home. If they don't get it, they're done. So it's a safe route here that Mike Forget is going to take.
Trevor Herget is out on the field, ready to boot this one away for the Blue Wave. And there's a solid kick by him. This is going to take a nice bounce for the Blue Wave and roll just around the 20-yard line. It's downed by number 18, Will Johnson. And New Canaan will take over 1st and 10 here with just over 4 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. New Canaan still holding on to that 12-7 lead. Darien with just the 1 touchdown over the top to Lesperance. New Canaan had a field goal in the 1st half, long run by Cognetta in the 2nd for the touchdown, and then of course the Miles Drake safety putting us at this 12-7 ball game. 4:18 left, 1st and 10, New Canaan with the ball from their own 20.
Matthew Ronsky checking in as a tight end.
Cognetta and Cunny in the backfield.
I think this would be indicative of a run.
Here's the snap there. In fact, is the run. Allegro meets Cognetta at the line, and not a whole lot doing, 2, maybe 3 to set up 2nd down.
That clock's still running. Coach Mike Forget, you can't take those timeouts with you. How long do you wait for you start calling those timeouts?
Yeah, Darien, 3 timeouts left. They haven't had to burn 1 yet, but now we are under 4 minutes here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 7 for the Rams. Honey and Cognetta. They are taking their sweet time snapping this ball as Cunny's staring directly at the far play clock. Cognetta will take it once again. He's met at the line of scrimmage. Once again, it was 92 Jack Barber with the initial contact. And Darien will take their first timeout with 3:24 left here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be 3rd and 6, 7 for New Canaan here. 12-7. It's a big spot.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 7. Darien needs a big stop. Their defense has been making those big stops. You just kind of look at the game. Darien's defense really hasn't been beat, on a play. Their one touchdown, they scored a one-play, 70-yard rush. So they haven't really given up a long offensive drive on the opposition. So they need to just continue what they do, put the pressure on, stop New Canaan, and get the ball back to the offense.
I agree with Braden. I think that New Canaan is perfectly content keeping the ball on the ground, forcing Forget to use another timeout, or letting 40 seconds run off the clock.
So if you're the great Lou Marinelli, are you throwing the ball here, or are you trying to burn some more clock on 3rd down and hoping one of your running backs can break free?
Honestly, I'm keeping this one on the ground.
We'll see what Marinelli decides to do here. Cunny coming out with the play call. It's Benevento behind him. Wide receivers on either side. Cunny will pull it, look to throw, completion. 1st down and some, pushed out of bounds, and that's huge for New Canaan.
Tight end Walker Blair, first big pass completion of the game for the Rams, and it could not have come at a better time.
Brendan, that's not just his first. That is his first of the season, his first reception.
So 3:17 left here now in the fourth. Clock is stopped for the 1st down, and the player went out of bounds. New Canaan clinging on to a 5-point lead. And you got to think Darien can only allow maybe one more 1st down before clock really becomes a huge issue for them. They'll keep it on the ground once again, and just a pile of players on the ground. So nothing doing there. We have a post-mortem flag as Medwar is down for the Blue Wave. There is a Darien timeout having been called. We'll see what this flag is, but New Canaan already starting to meander backwards a little.
It is interesting because the line judge actually blew the play off because of the timeout. So now you're really getting into the extracurriculars.
So yeah, the whistle was blown for the timeout called by Darien immediately after the play ended. After that, there was some, I assume, post-mortem contact. So we're going to move back 15 yards here, I believe, on a personal foul, all the way back to the 25-yard line to set up. I assume the play is going to count, so 2nd down, but from the indications on the far side, it will be 1st down.
So Darien still loses the timeout.
I think they might actually replay the down.
2nd down, we have an official on the far side signaling that it is 2nd down, so they will not replay the down. The flag came after the play ended. Darien will still be charged to the timeout. If they had replayed the down, Darien would have gotten the timeout back. So Darien will lose the timeout. Play counts. It's going to be 2nd down and 24 for the Rams now. And that's a big play if for nothing else. Now New Canaan just probably can't pound the ball 3 times in a row and have a chance of picking up a 1st down.
That's true. And the penalties have killed New Canaan. That's 80 penalty yards for them this game. And now they really need to get a bigger play going for them to get a 1st down.
Yeah, certainly forcing New Canaan to go to the air if they want to gain that extra 1st down.
Cunny and Benevento in the backfield. 3 wide for New Canaan. 3:10 left. Darien with only 1 timeout left. They'll run the ball to the far side. Flag down once again. Allegro was able to drag Benevento down on the far side. But we'll see what this flag is.
Looks like it's going to be a hold against Julian Braun. He had his hands all over Griffin Steinkraus.
So 2nd and 24, they might end up declining this penalty because I believe with a holding, the down would be replayed. So I think Darien won't risk any more time running off the clock.
Yeah, Forget is shaking the finger. And I assume he's going to decline it here.
So the referees still conferring.
Chop block is the penalty.
Chop block penalty. referee is walking it back, so Darien will accept the penalty, and it will be second down. Mike Forget electing to take the yards backwards and sacrifice some time. So it will be second and very long, second and 38 to be exact here for the New Canaan Rams. They're all the way back on the 11-yard line.
Well, in a game of field position, every inch matters. And that's what Coach Mike Forget's field of thinking is.
Under 3 minutes now. Darien holding on to their last timeout. Coney sitting in the backfield waiting to snap it, taking his time. So there's the snap. They'll hand this one off. And he's stopped once again at the line.
Gain of 2 or 3. Not much of a dent put in there.
It was Alex Benevento on the carry. More important than the yards was the clock, but Darien will burn their last time out here. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in this one. It's going to be 3rd and 23. I believe that's supposed to be 33 because it was 38. Either way, it's going to be 3rd and very long for New Canaan. Here, 12-7 ball game, 2:30 left. Darien, most importantly now, out of timeouts.
They're out of timeouts, and they're going to have, I assume, a little under a minute, or a little under 2 minutes, rather, with the offense, assuming that, they rush the ball here, don't pick up many yards, take their time on the punt. That the accepting the penalty set them back, but I guess in the long run, they're going to get the extra yards back and make it less yards to go on the offense, but the time is now going to be against the Blue Wave.
Well, for a big play offense like Darien, that when they've been able to get things going, it was through big throw to Les Sprints, big throw to Stafford. So I think that Coach Forget is more concerned with field position than he is with the amount of time on the clock.
New Canaan offense back on the field. 3rd and 34 for the Rams here. 2:30 left. As Darien out of timeouts. They'll run this one to the near side. That's Cognetta on the carry. He's brought down with a negligible gain, and that will set up 4th and long. So play clock still hasn't, or just started, so New Canaan will be able to run it down to about 1 minute and 40 seconds in that area before they have to punt the ball away, call his timeout, or take a delay of game penalty. We'll see what they do. I would imagine Lou Marinelli will wait until that play clock hits about 0 and call a timeout just to milk as much clock as he possibly can.
I mean, that's the case. Then you look at a guy like Ty Groff, who's just been spectacular on the punts today, averaging 35.4 yards per punt. So he's going to try to pin Darien back some good ways and make it a tough possession, as they might not getting the play clock. There's only 2 to play.
You're going to call a timeout.
There's Marinelli's timeout. So 1 minute and 40 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. 4th and 33 for the Rams. They'll have Ty Groff punt this one away, we got to assume. Braden, this is where it pays to have a specialist like Ty Groff, who can probably flip the field, to be honest, from back deep in his own territory.
I mean, that is the case, but then based on your analogy, Darien's paying to get Matthew Minikis there, a talented punt returner that can try to set up good field position for them. So it's going to be interesting that that battle of Groff versus Minikis.
You can bet your bottom dollar that Darien's going to send all the pressure that they can. If they block this punt, that's a huge change of momentum.
Minikis was organizing, and they're going to send everyone not able to get a hand in on it. A huge punt that Minikis fields at a fair catch all the way back around the 45-yard line. So just over 90 seconds left. Darien out of timeouts. 1st and 10 from the New Canaan 45.
It's going to be all passing for the Blue Wave. They don't have the time to be rushing it with Ty Comiskey. They need to get the passing game going. They need Matthew Minikis to catch some passes and maybe get those screens to Ty Comiskey working.
The big things for the Blue Wave: 1st down, incompletion, or out of bounds. The 3 ways you can stop the clock. Of course, the 1st down is only temporarily. But the 3 ways you can make clock run out. New Canaan, I imagine they try to keep the secondary with the ball over the middle of the field. Drake boils out, throws to Lesperance on the far side. They're saying he didn't get a foot down, so that's actually going to be incomplete. And a flag on the play. That's really painful for Darien. That's a hold. It will remain 1st down, but it's going to be 1st and 20. Moving back to the 35 and 1 minute and 26 seconds left.
A hold offensively when New Canaan's only sending 2. just really an undisciplined play there from Darien.
The mistakes that you cannot afford, especially this late in such a big game.
Actually, that's 15 yards. It must have been a personal foul there.
So 1st and 25 from the 30 for the Blue Wave. 1:26 left here in this one. Drake in the shotgun. He drops back, bails to the near side, looking to throw. He's under pressure, cutting back. Drake throws this out to Lesperance, who is able to haul that one in, but they're saying he was in bounds, so clock is going to keep going. It's going to be 2nd and about 10 for the Blue Wave here, maybe 11, as Darien into the no huddle trying to get set as we are running across the minute mark here left in this 4th quarter. 3 on the near side for the Wave. Drake dropping back, looking to throw. He's under pressure. Drake's going to run up and have to take off with it. He's across the middle of the field. It's going to be 3rd and 5 here as we have a Darien player down on the far side of the field. So we'll
you know what that does? That stops the clock.
It was kind of late to stop the clock too, but a injury on Darien. Now remember, this doesn't stop it permanently. The second that the refs signal it, the clock will restart.
The trainer's going to have to come out to stretch the Darien player down.
And New Canaan's crowd is booing. They know that stopped the clock, and they think that he is feigning an injury.
New Canaan thinks that there's some antics going on here, so those are the things you hate to see. That's Jeremiah Stafford down on the far side of the field.
You know, you look at the college level, Ole Miss is known for doing that to stop the clock when they're going up against a team that's using the no huddle. Darien going the opposite way, stopping the clock when they need it on offense.
The one thing is, if you go down with an official's timeout, you have to come off the field, as you saw Stafford got sent off there. So the clock running once again, under 40 seconds left here. 3rd and 5, Drake dropping back, surveying the field. He's under pressure, steps up, hucks this one deep to Minikis in triple coverage. It falls incomplete. Minikis turned around looking for a flag. Nothing doing. 4th and 5. This is the game right here.
And all day, 3 black shirts surrounding Matthew Minikis. They know how talented he is. I've said that time and time again. I'm sure Chris Silvestri said the same thing. They know how dangerous he is, and that it's so important to get black shirts around Matthew Minikis.
You know, you play 48 minutes of football, and it comes down to this play right here.
So you see the incompletion there.
To win.
Drake dropping back, looking to throw. He throws this one over. That's Wilson on the catch. He's making an effort to get out of bounds. Clock's going to run. So under 20 seconds here, the scoreboard clock has been stopped. New Canaan signaling that it needs to run. The chains do have to move, so that's why the clock stopped temporarily. Darien going to get over it and spike it here. 16.3 seconds left here in this one. Darien, it will be 2nd and 10 from the 31 or the 36-yard line, excuse me.
Dylan Murray's helmet came off on that play.
So New Canaan will burn their first time out here with 16.3 seconds left. It's been such an action-packed game, we haven't had a chance to thank our production crew, which I'd be remiss if I didn't do. This, of course, being a joint production between DAF Media and NCTV. From DAF, of course, our advisor, Damian Andrew, Ben Whitechulis, Mikey Mercine, Ted Brennan, and Bruce Ferguson around to help. And on the other side for NCTV,
our wonderful advisor, Roman Cebulski, producer, Emily Fox, Anav Sahai, Sydney Sibilia, Tommy Fox, Eva Campbell, Amelie Lanoff, Nick Mohammed, Aiden Taylor, Armand Leshy, and our fantastic AD, Jay Egan.
We thank all the students for volunteering their time to come out today on Thanksgiving morning and put this production together for you. 12-7 is your score. 16.3 seconds left here for the Blue Wave. Drake dropping back, looking to throw, trying to find someone. He has to bail out to the near side. Drake is just going to get rid of this, throwing it deep into the Darien sideline, and it will set up 3rd and 10 for the Blue Wave, of course. 3rd and 10 is not what is important. 7 seconds on the clock is what matters more than anything.
And both students are lining up on the fence. They're ready to rush the field no matter what happens on this play.
Darien, 7 seconds. They only have a couple plays left, so they need to go for the long ball.
And no matter who wins this game, these two are headed for another matchup in the state semifinals if they can make it there.
7 seconds left. Ball on the near hash. Drake is heading up in the shotgun. You got 5 wide for the Blue Wave. Drake alone in the backfield. New Canaan gonna send 4. Drake dropping back. He's headed for the end zone. This ball deep on the near side is falling incomplete. No time left. That will do it. New Canaan wins the Turkey Bowl 12-7. That will do it from Dunning Field as you see the students and players storming the field. And Darien stunned as they drop this one to move to 9-1. New Canaan moving to 9-1 as well. That will do it for the 4th straight year, skipping last year because of COVID, of course. New Canaan takes the Turkey Bowl. This time, it's 12-7 at Dunning Field.
I mean, New Canaan, they fought hard, and it was a great game by both sides. Darien, they had to get going a little bit earlier. You can't go into the half with only 20 offensive yards. And, I mean, New Canaan, they're pretty deservingly. They're going to pick up the Memorial Trophy in this one, and the Coach's Memorial Trophy, my apology. It was a hard-fought game by both sides.
And New Canaan, they're able to get the 50-50 balls almost all go their way. And don't feel bad, Darien fans, because we've got another game between these two teams, state playoffs coming up.
Of course, Darien, the Darien players, the Darien fans, and everyone leading into this game means so much. Same can be said for New Canaan. Only one team can go home in celebration this year. Once again, that will be the New Canaan Rams. Braden, some final thoughts.
Like I said, both teams came out here, gave it their all. Darien, they're going to shift into the state playoffs, make some adjustments to their, I guess you could call their game plan. I mean, 23 yards in the first half. You really can't expect to do much. And in the second half, they were lucky to get the Jalen Lesperance touchdown. But, I mean, they got to do better next week, I should say, or whatever it is, 2 weeks in the state playoffs. They got to do better, though, about getting more offense and really adjusting when you have your 2 best players out of the game.
Brendan, your thoughts on this one?
Well, New Canaan and Darien, they had 2 very different play styles coming into this game. And it was, if you were able to play your own type of game, you're going to win. And that's exactly what New Canaan was able to do. They wanted to make it a slow, ground and pound style offense, control time of possession, and also choke Darien out on offense. If they got into a shootout with Darien, it would be over in the first minute. But they're able to have a grinding, grueling game, even with injuries throughout the game. They were able to play how they wanted and dictate the way the game flowed.
New Canaan did just that, executed the game plan, and were able to take this one 12-7 from the Blue Wave to win the 27th edition of the Turkey Bowl and keep their win streak alive in these games. For our entire DAF Media production crew and NCTV production crew, it was a pleasure to bring you this one from historic Dunning Field, a joint broadcast between DAF Media and NCTV. For Braden Shank, Brendan Toscoria, I'm Peter McLean. And thanks for joining us.
And I would like to give a shout out to our sponsors. This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sport Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We'd like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported the NC Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We'd like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Melissa Rambuya and Kristen Hara, the premier real estate tandem in Fairfield County for all your real estate needs. We'd like to thank our Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni, Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who have been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all your automotive needs. I'd like to thank Platinum sponsor, William Fessler Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile, you're in good hands. We'd also like to thank our gold sponsor, Renaissance Partners is a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. Performance Optimal Health. With advanced level professionals and a team approach to healthcare, their mission is to empower athletes and their families to live better. They offer their congratulations to all teams competing this season. And again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Go Rams!
We are going to stick around here on our broadcast for trophy and award presentations. The annual awards following the Turkey Bowl, of course. As you see, they're still getting organized on the field for that. We had a great one today. Your final score, once again, New Canaan 12, Darien 7, and both teams will now look forward to the state playoffs.
Yeah, the state playoffs, like we said, New Canaan moving to Class Double L this year, so they will have a chance for a rematch in the state playoffs. But, we talk about the history and tradition of these. The end of two eras in the Turkey Bowl for Darien. You have Matthew Minikis and David Ivanchek both ending their family lines, if you will. The Ivancheks, of course, a part of the Turkey Bowl since 2012, and Minikis just a long line. So two great families there coming to an end, and it was a great game overall here at Dunning Field.
The Minikises were going around the school trying to...
Presented by Mr. Sikorsky, awarded to the New Canaan Rams. Once again, your final score, New Canaan 12, Darien 7. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, and thank you for attending this great game for the first time in 2 years. Good luck to both teams throughout the remainder of their 2021 seasons.